I have had for years. I restored it in 2000.
Now, take advantage of the
Probably around 2000.
$300 now.
It was a 1946 aircraft, and it's the most unique story because it's a 1946. But I bought all factory new parts. And how do you buy factory new in 1946? Univair. Look up the Univair story. It's a great interesting. The old man in Aurora here in Denver, in Colorado, bought up all the rights to all the old aircraft. And he manufactures new parts. It's the only place in the world to get parts for your old plane.
And they're here.
When I moved here, and I saw, because I've been ordering a Univair my whole life, and I moved here, it was like a mecca for me. It was like my pilgrimage. When I went there, and they said, come on back, and they showed me the aircrew parts. And I literally, except for the roof, the little cockpit, and what's called wing roots, I built everything out brand new from the factory. So it has a 1946 model year, but I promise you it's new. It's new. It's the most extraordinary airplane. And so I flew it back the other day. I just got it back and running. It's been sitting for 5 years. Hold on, I got to try to get a picture of the plane, but it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
And is it one person or?
Two people. Open cockpit if you want it to be.
Wow.
Cloth wings.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It has cloth wings, but that doesn't matter.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But they're seeking.
Wow, look at that.
But this is not a toy. Look at it. It's beautiful.
That is so beautiful. It really is.
Oh, no.
Like the Red Baron.
Brand new. Look at it. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Wow.
Stephanie said he's going to get a little cap like the Red Baron. You know, like Snoopy.
I used to have dice hanging from the compass.
Very classic.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. Oh, if you listen online, you'll hear so much during the break. Yeah, we're live the whole time. So it's live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on iHeartRadio, and of course live on KHOW Radio in the Denver metro area, 630 on the AM dial, and of course KRDO in Colorado Springs. So what happens? Okay, David, what happens? There's debts against the estate, and you don't have a probate. So you have debts. The heir has a pay on death. They go and get the money out of the bank, 60, 70 thou, and they pocket it. What happens? An estate is never open.
If no estate's open, there are no assets in the estate because they all passed outside the terms.
And no one can be accused of doing anything wrong.
And doing anything wrong. And the only parties that I would question or say as a caveat is the IRS or the State Department of Revenue, the Colorado Department of Revenue, if it's a state. I think they can follow the assets, but I think they're the only ones who can. So when the creditors call up, it's, well, there's no estate. And that's true.
All right. David Salisbury, attorney at law. Let's go to Alberto. Alberto called us on Tuesday. And Alberto, tell us why you were so frustrated.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good, man. Tell me why you were so frustrated.
I had delivered a package or sent a package to the U.S. Postal Service, and supposedly it was supposed to be delivered within 2 days. And
it was very, very important. What was it?
It was some important paperwork and some money orders for my wife's attorney for get her U.S. citizenship papers.
Otherwise, she was going to be deported.
Correct.
What happened? We got involved.
Yeah, you guys got involved, and you guys did an awesome job, and like I said, it would take about 15 days. Nobody could help me out, tell me what was going on. You didn't give me no kind of answer until I called you guys, and within hours, I mean, you guys found the package, delivered it, and everything's good to go.
Can you believe that? This guy's been waiting 15 days on a priority package. He had no idea where the package was. No one at the post office was helping him. We got involved. We shined a light on the activity. And all of a sudden, fires were lit and butts moved. And what happened? Dan, you wanted to chime?
Yeah, the same thing happened to me. It's not a good tracking system that the post office has. If you're going to send something and you want to track it, use FedEx or UPS.
That's the sad truth. Now, Daft, what did you do? You lit a fire?
Yeah, we have an angel at the United States Postal Service, and he just was amazing. He got right on it, said, I'm going to take care of this, and it happened very quickly. And a lot of people got involved, so he set the fire after I set the fire.
I really do appreciate that. I really do. And so, thank you, Alberto. Say good things about
you guys, and you guys are awesome. I appreciate all your hard work, and it was just amazing how fast you guys worked.
Okay, thanks. That's what we mean. We get directly involved. We love doing it. 303-713-TALK. Jackie's turn. Jackie, what's going on?
Well, I thought I needed a new roof. Well, I did need a new roof, Tom. And I got 3 estimates from companies. I didn't get the insurance involved in the beginning because I had just taken out the policy March, the middle of the, toward the end of March.
Okay, so you had a claim, but you didn't get them involved at all? You never called them?
I did, yes, but not till after I got the estimates.
What was the, okay, and what happened after the estimate? How'd you find the roofer, by the way?
Oh, my granddaughter lives across the street from his grandmother, and he put the roofs on in the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, okay, so you had reason to believe he could do yours, and what happened?
Well, his communication is lacking. But anyway, he had me sign this 2-page, it's not even an agreement, it's just the cost of the equipment.
Well, it's an agreement probably not as specified by the state of Colorado, but you signed something. Did you pay him, though? I hope you did not pay him.
I did, and Tom, I've listened to you for 40 years.
Oh, Jackie, then you have no excuse. What did you pay him? How much?
I paid him, the first check was $3,500, and then he wanted an additional $530, so I paid him those 2 figures. And I have copies of those. I have copies of everything.
And then did he do any part of it at all?
He started ripping the roof off.
And how far did he get?
So far that I had a terrible leak last week when it rained so hard. I live in North Glen. I live in half.
Your insurance may not pay that, but because they may or may not. Tell me what's going on. Has he been working steadily? When did he start?
No, the insurance company put him on hold.
Why?
And I have all of those dates down here.
Why'd they put him on hold?
Because they wanted to get an engineer up there to see if there was structural damage.
When did he start the job?
He began the job in, that's the only date I don't have down.
Just roughly, the month.
Was it in May?
May, June, July, last year?
In May.
Okay,
in May he started the job.
And when did he get put on hold?
Let's see, Carolyn put him on hold.
June, July?
No, in May.
Okay, so he was only on the job a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
About 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, so he was attempting...
He was attempting to go ahead and do the roof.
Okay, well, that's better than walking away. Okay, so where do we stand now? Did the insurance company come back with a determination?
Well, sort of. They did, but they said that he could come on back and finish the job.
Okay, but he probably now has other jobs. I'm not making excuses for this guy. He's not on the referral list. I don't know who he is. However, I mean, it sounds like he was ready to do the roof. And he probably would have got it done. So, Jackie, where does he stand now?
Well, on 7/20, he called me and said, I'm back. In the Denver metro area I've been in, but he never called me the whole time.
Okay,
Once the insurance company put him on hold.
Okay, what is he supposed to do?
She handles most of this.
Okay.
And
Jackie, here's what I want to know. What is the last thing you heard from him? Is he going to come back and finish?
Well, he said that last week I had called him and
What did he say? Just get to the part where he said something. What did he say?
He was ready to come back and finish it.
Good. Let's get him back.
But
is there
he
a problem? Oh, okay.
And he's been very insulting to my daughter.
Ooh.
Well, I thought you said your daughter said don't come back.
Well, if she did, you'd have to ask her.
You're not going to get your money back. These guys spend the money. They don't have that money.
No, I'm sure they don't.
So the best we can do, if he did all the roofs in the neighborhood, is get him to finish. We'll call him and say, look, no matter what's been going on, if there's bad blood or whatever, poor Jackie should not be caught in the middle. And you shouldn't, Jackie. Maybe your daughter is being forceful. I don't know. Again, I'm not making excuses. What's the name of the roofer?
Justin.
His company. I'm sorry.
Justin Prado. I don't even think he has a company.
Justin Prado?
Prado, Prado. And I have his phone number for you, Tom.
Off the air. Hold on. Okay, Daff, let's just call Justin. Listen, I'm not going to accuse this guy of anything. He was ready to finish that roof. And say, Justin, it was unfortunate. We know what you went through. Now what? Can you finish it for her? Just forget the daughter. Can we finish this thing?
You got it.
Let's see what happens. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. I have a question. Email. It's actually Facebook. How do you lodge a will? What does that mean?
Lodging a will.
No, I don't even know.
It's an original will, and you lodge it with the court, the district court in the county you live in.
Lodge means file?
File. You give it to them, you pay them a little bit of money, and they set up a file that has your original will. You need an original will to open a probate.
What department does that?
It would be in the probate division of the district court for that county.
Does the district court keep all wills? Do you have to lodge one?
No, you don't, and most people don't. And the reason they don't generally is if you change your will, now you got to go down there so you make sure if something happens that they don't somehow use the will before the change. So I know very few people who do that.
Oh, really?
Very few.
Okay. You don't have to lodge it. You can. Then how would people know there is a will lodged?
Well, hopefully somebody has, the person has told people where their will is.
That's a safe place, though, if you think about it.
It is a safe place.
Because even an attorney can drop dead or leave.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to take a quick break. 303-713-TALK. But here's the important thing. When I take breaks on this show, they're as important as the show content. Every commercial you hear is accountable. That's where my show differs from any other show. So if you hear me talk about something, I want you to take it to task if you don't like what you hear. I also want to talk about something very, very near and dear to my heart, a new sponsor. And this is an unusual sponsor. It's a rehabilitation center. They have multiple locations. They're doing a wonderful job where they can help you, whether you plan on going there or not. If you call them, they would be happy to talk to you about the rehabilitation industry. That's really what it is. And how they are different. And how they approach the mind, body, and soul. And how they can talk to an addict, or how you can, to get them to even consider rehab. If you're an addict listening and you feel like getting help, because that's the only time it's going to work, give them a call too. 720-893-5559. I know the owner. I've known him for years. He's the founder and owner, and they have a caring, loving staff. So call the Raleigh House, theRaleighHouse.com, like Raleigh, North Carolina, but it's actually started here in Raleigh, on Raleigh Street in Denver, and it's called theRaleighHouse.com. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559.
The roofer?
Yeah, he didn't answer.
That story is almost totally different.
What do you mean? Tell me what.
So what happened is, the way this all came about, Ted sent it to me from one of his clients that he has and stuff. So
what do you mean one of the people on the referral?
I don't know if they're on.
How do they know her? I want to know how the story goes.
Okay, so
it's unusual to see commercials about this.
They bought this insurance.
You're not going to listen. Meanwhile, this commercial is mainly aimed
and you did this?
Well, this was a driving truck cars who recommend rehabilitation. This was when I was Raleigh House. We met with these people. They are genuine from top to bottom. They absolutely everything up for people and for what they do. If you went through Raleigh House, this is where they want to help you. This is all drug factory in your life. I went through it. You cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, meth, Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, like sedatives, and even marijuana.
And you did most of this work?
For many.
Wow.
I didn't actually spray the paint. They can help you, but I did. Like the fabric, I ordered and had this stitched, and I installed it all. I did all this installation. 720-893.
I'm impressed.
5559. TheRaleighHouse.com. 720-893-5559.
Nothing is more important than your health. Hi, I'm
And what
Donnie,
an
owner of Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's
Take something down and put it back together.
consistently rated the best in the industry. Among Runner's World's top-rated treadmills.
What's Oshkosh? Is that like a national
For 46 years, with a lifetime warranty on all parts. Don't waste your money on big box, internet, or infomercial.
What was different?
Okay, so the insurance, she thought she had some damage. Insurance inspector came, says, nope, you don't get a roof. So this Justin had come because she knew him around. She says, hey, I need a roof. So Justin says, okay, I can do your roof. So she paid him the money up front. He tore the roof off, or tore 3/4 of it off, and said, hey, we should turn this again into the insurance company. Insurance company then says, great, we're not going to give you any money. We can't even see the roof again and stuff to see if it's almost all tore off. So
They didn't even know she had hail damage.
what they said at first, she told me
So
that
they put it on
said,
hold. They put it on hold, but then they approved it.
No, they didn't. The insurance company didn't approve it all, and because after
So right now she doesn't have insurance.
right, because the roof is 3/4 off.
She said she got a first check for $4,500. What does that mean?
No, she paid the guy $4,500 out of her own money.
So she's never gotten a dime from insurance.
Not a dime,
And insurance won't pay.
But there is other damage around the house, like maybe some windows and
But
stuff.
insurance won't pay for
Not
the
for the
roof.
roof. Not
They're
for the roof.
definitely not going to pay.
No, they're not going
So
to pay.
she's going to have to pay.
She's going to have to pay. So then, apparently, when that got put on hold, he went and did some other work. That was in May. It hasn't had a roof since May. This last rainstorm, it started raining into the thing. And then the guy had called up and said, hey, I'm back, I can do your roof. And apparently the daughter, this is what she had told me, Jackie says, the daughter says she was so pissed off at him, says, no, you're not going to do my roof. And I says, I think that's the wrong thing to do. You can ask Tom, because you've already paid him money.
Can you get that woman back
It's so
with
easy
the
to
roof?
use, and the results will amaze you. Cell therapy is the best treatment for
I want to show you
those with
something.
hair like mine.
This was my most ambitious project. Now I hired people to help me. This was a composite airplane from a kit.
Amino acids, vitamins, and other key
I hired a guy to do
Cell
some of
therapy
this work.
Biovision will repair
I
and
did
plump your
every
hair,
system
reduce
as
breakage,
far as
and help restore
electronics.
your
This is what I
natural
started
beauty and
with.
shine. Now is the best time to stock up since Ovation is doubling your value with the 6-item summer essentials set, which includes the
And what was
cell therapy
this?
treatment
Oh, it was just
and
a
it's
kit.
great to save
Yeah,
you
and it's
over
called
50%.
Velocity. And this is where
Okay.
I took it to my shop after they did the shell. Then I was here, so this is stage one of the shell. Then I went in and I did all of the wiring and all of the controls, every single
Hurry to get your
stitch.
limited time doubly delightful deal.
Consumers Real Estate Show. That's right, a real estate show
Damn.
for consumers.
Martina.
All inside
I did
information to help
everything you
you.
say.
I've been selling you short.
So I did all of this, all of this.
The Consumers
I had a
Real
shop.
Estate Show, Saturday mornings at 8 on 630 KHAP.
My
You're
rudders.
unique, so why
I
is your
designed
mattress
the panel.
one size fits all?
Yeah, so you look awfully different
I had a
there.
laser
I'm
cut.
Christian Von
That's
Rickenbach,
what it is,
founder
carbon
of
fiber.
HelixSleep.com, where you can buy a
I
mattress
installed all the
online,
electronics
customized for
and
you
all of
for
this.
hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to HelixSleep.com, answer a few simple questions,
engine.
and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep
That was
on.
the engine.
Shipping is free,
Yeah,
and you have
beautiful.
100 nights to try it out. Go to
And
HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
they give you everything you need as far as parts to put it
No.
together?
HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
They just give you the...
Sean
This is
Hannity.
the first night I
Today
fired
at
up the
1
engine.
on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
And wait
Love
till
the
you see
wings.
wait till you see the finished product. It won so many prizes. I got motorcycle painters to paint this.
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the
Hi,
night
Tom
was
Martino
long,
here.
we
Welcome.
were bold and young.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. Jackie, I want to go back to this roofing situation. Jackie, did you ever collect any money from your insurance for the roof?
Nothing yet.
Okay, you will not. When we looked into this case, what we found out is You had torn the roof off. They never got a chance to look at it. They're not going to pay for it. So this roof, no matter what else is wrong with your house, the roof will not be paid for by insurance.
Okay.
That's a problem. And I want everyone listening to know, don't ever tear off a roof and start repairs without an adjuster looking at it, because you'll end up like Jackie. Now, if there is additional damage, that will be covered. If you and did we send out a public adjuster for her?
No,
We should. We should. Now, Jackie, I want to tell you some cold, hard facts. You probably won't get covered on the roof, but our public adjuster, who works for you, not the insurance company, and takes a portion of what you get, would probably be able to recover enough money from this water damage and stuff that would more than make up for what you lost on the roof. But the way this story was told to us, and Jackie, you weren't completely truthful, you told Deputy Dan that your daughter fired the roofer.
No, well, if she did, I didn't know about it.
You told Deputy Dan. Deputy Dan doesn't make this up. What did she say?
Jackie, that's what you said. You said your daughter and stuff told him that he's no longer welcome there and he can't finish the roof.
Well,
you told Dan that.
Maybe she did. I'll ask her. I've put in a call for her now. She's working.
Okay, you understand though. You're the one that told Dan this.
Okay. All right, sir.
I think what's happening is you are so frustrated by this, and I understand that you don't know where to turn. That's what I think is going on.
Well, I sure don't.
And the first mistake you made was money up front. The second mistake is letting them start before your insurance even looked at it. Now, the third mistake is getting crossways with him, because right now, this guy didn't do anything wrong. So, Dan, did you ever talk to the roofer?
No, I didn't. I never had his number.
Okay. We are going to try to patch things up to get him to finish, okay?
Thank you.
And then we're going to try to fight for you through a public adjuster to get you more money. So, we need to turn this over to Freddie. 303-713-TALK. Mark. What's going on, Mark?
Hi, Tom. Name is Mark. Long story short, I wasn't fully aware that there was even this scam in place, but I got a phone call out of the blue that was left on my Vonage email, stated that a deputy sheriff wanted to talk to me about a legal matter, so I called that phone number. They answered as Weld County Sheriff's Department. They told me they were with the warrant division and that there was a bench warrant out because I had missed jury duty.
Yep, we've heard of this scam years ago. We've had complaints about this. Where did it go from there?
Long story short, I bought off on the idea that they needed to verify funds on the prepaid credit card. And
now, why did they say they had to verify funds for? Hey, Dan, you just put that in my eye. Why did they say that? He was just shining a light in my eye. Why did they say that they needed to verify for a fine that you had to pay?
Well, they said actually that there was a bench warrant, and this was a money that was needed to post bond and to be refunded to me when I saw the judge in question.
How much did you post?
$500.
You actually did it?
Yeah, I actually did it and gave him the damn card numbers.
Okay, how'd you figure out it was a scam?
As soon as I figured it out, I was standing, well, the guy actually told me to meet me at the Weld County Sheriff's Office, and I went down there, and the guy doesn't exist, and neither does the division.
Do you have his phone number?
Yeah, I have the phone number, and it leads to nowhere now.
Probably just a Google Voice number. You got ripped off, man. You got totally ripped off. Thank you for letting us know so we can let others know, because if nothing else comes...
The biggest question, more than anything, is that, I mean, I realize it's being put out there, but the one thing that really enables these guys to get this done is they request that you get a money pack card, and the card is not represented by Visa, it's not represented by MasterCard, it's a direct card that's all over the internet, says that it pretty much enables these guys to get your money and run.
Well,
and there's no way these guys say they won't refund your money.
They could have done that, bro. They could have done that with a prepaid any card. It's not this one card that makes it possible.
Well, the Visa and the MasterCards, that'll at least dispute the charge and fight for you.
No, that's not true. Not on a prepaid. I doubt you can contest a prepaid. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Now, this one that you have, you cannot contest, you're saying.
No, basically, once you even contact the website, they say they're not responsible.
What's the name of the card? What's the name of the card again?
Money Pack.
Money Pack.
Yep.
And that's
MONEYPAK.
Is that the one they? Is that the one they specifically asked you to get?
You bet.
They did.
And that should have been a red flag to me. But the biggest problem, more than anything, the only reason I even bought into this is that I actually had gotten a summons for jury duty and forgot to go. So I was like, oh, okay. And then they mentioned a judge's name in Weld County that I was familiar with because my wife just went in for a car accident in front of that judge. So they had their ducks in a row, and I guarantee you, you know, I'm not easily scammed. But this one, you know, I mean, the red flag should have been that card. You know, they should have been able to take any card at the sheriff's department. And I was a moron for even thinking.
I guarantee to get your money back, but you got to send me $200 on a prepaid Visa card. It's a joke, Mark. It's
That's
a joke.
cheap.
Right. Mark, I really do feel bad about it.
It was viable. I guarantee you. The guy sounded like a sheriff calling from Weld County, had the judge's name, had everything all in a row.
Man.
And I mean, and I questioned it even to the point where before I gave him the number, and I was almost at the sheriff's department. If I had not given the number, I would have
I am told, listen, bro, I'm told that you can dispute but you have to do some long written thing for this, the Green Dot Corporation for the Money Pack. There is, they do have a place to dispute a charge. It says Money Pack is not anonymous. All parties involved with this transaction must be willing to provide blah, blah, blah. Funds can be loaded, and it says you are allowed to contest charges. So, and it says a fine.
Play, but then they've repeated to me repeatedly that they are not responsible to refund your money once the number is given.
No, they're not.
I mean,
they're not responsible to refund, but you can contest it though, and they can well, hold on though. I don't know how they can though, because with a prepaid card, it's not like this company, these scammers have a regular account they can debit.
You can report the fraud, but it says they won't, not responsible for
There's a few
giving you
slow
money
spots
back.
on the highway, off highway, a couple of crashes being cleared. Look out for slow speeds on northbound I-25, heavy in that typical spot.
You just won't give him a Bitcoin.
So what do you think the elderly woman, do you think she thought if she said that her daughter got rid of him, that Tom wouldn't help?
I don't know. She's 80-some years old. I talked to her insurance broker, and he says, no, she's pretty good. But like I said, here, the stories are really different than what she told me.
Right now, cloudy and 64.
She used to here she is. She says, yeah, I'm a former realtor. I should have known all this.
Yeah, but she kept evading Tom's question. Didn't you just tell Deputy Dan that
I told her last night about this. I said, hey, I would not wait till Tom gives his opinion, but I would tell your daughter, don't say anything. He's willing to do it. Do it. You're not going to get the money back.
Where's Allie? It may not be big on frills, but it's definitely big on Allie. Hello? Saving money. Flooring, cabinets, countertops, doors, sinks, tubs, spas, faucets, toilets, lighting, fans. Here's an example. I bought cabinets for 1/10 the price of big box stores. You got to see it to believe it. Buy and build. 4,800 watts. Can you run? Can you go down there? We got full lines.
Okay.
Front pouch. I'll run down there. Okay, he'll run down. The front pouch with my briefcase stand, the very behind your desk. Wherever my briefcase. I think my briefcase is on my black filing cabinet. Okay. The front pouch. Can you do my glasses until I get this left eye on? All your major systems. The engine. Just. And emissions. Thanks, man. Thank you. Repairs you want to do.
What's wrong with your eyes?
No, you know, I have normal aging, but I had a new lens put in the right eye. And it's focused. You know, now when you get new lenses, I don't have cataract, and I get bad eyes. You know, just like old age. And my right eye, my left eye, I see blurry. So it just screws up. And the reading glasses doesn't hurt the good eye, and it helps the bad eye. Once this is done, I mean, I hardly are the investors? Now, I can see
special lower
so
prices
well.
during our hot
This
summer
is
meal
called
at the Farmers Pick Buffet at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk.
which is a
You don't want to miss the
multifocal
best
lens.
dining value in Blackhawk for
those
brunch, lunch, or dinner this
who,
August
want
and
a new
September
lens.
during the
They
hot
never
summer
want
meal
glasses.
deal at Isle Casino Hotel Blackhawk.
Up till a few years ago, when you had your lens replaced, you had to pick, do you want near or far, right, when you had cataracts? Now with these new lenses, you don't have to pick.
And you didn't have astigmatism, did you?
No.
Yeah, see, I have
I just have
astigmatism,
normal-
but even
normal
that
aging of the eye is right.
they can correct that even now with a lens.
So normal aging of the eyes are basically,
Don't fall for claims that somebody can get you out of paying most, if not all, of your back taxes.
Well, cool.
Cases are rare. It's not unusual to get in a bad situation with the IRS, but don't let other commercials fool you. The IRS rarely makes wild write-offs, so keep your expectations realistic and still get the best possible deal by using
Well, your kid's
Heartland
doing
Tax
something.
Solutions. Call them right now at 303-996-6006 or go online, heartlandtaxsolutions.com.
Concur does what Mike
they
said.
really have, they do well.
Do they go to the same camp when they go?
Finance.
Okay.
Well, employees
They
love
did,
automated expense reports
a drama
and
camp,
invoices they can
and they
submit
did
and
a
approve
Bible
for
camp,
anyone.
they did a,
And finance loves that
they love stuff. They're going into a
inspect. Plus, Concur
school without walls.
finance systems. Concur makes
Some
the process
program
better for everyone.
where
Concur. Expense.
low
travel,
teacher to
invoice.
student ratio,
Yeah.
and they get to
For life aches and pains, choose Blue Emu. Continuous
excel at
pain
their own
relief spray.
rate.
It works.
Nothing holds them back.
I'm just kidding when I say this, but why go to drama camp? Don't they have enough drama in their life without it?
Order free here. It works here. Blue Emu.
But that's a good outlet for kids if that's what they enjoy, and it is. It's a good outlet.
For all those remote areas. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and other fine retailers.
Has the IRS emptied your bank account? Get your peace of mind back. Go to advancedtaxsolutions.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. If you were somebody, I won't be.
Give your garbage.
I can't say because I don't repeat things. Okay.
I appreciate that.
As Seinfeld would say, it's in the bag.
It's in the vault.
In the vault. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome. What's new? All you have to do is call. My favorite expression is we aggregate voices. We put them all together. So one voice yelling in a car or at your office, at your desk, at home, in the kitchen, whatever. You're pissed off about something. Like Mark was, this jury scam with people taking a prepaid card saying it's a fine because you didn't show up for jury duty. That kind of stuff, we put them together, and because we do that, we're able to prevent future occurrences in many cases, but also help people directly. God, I've been doing this for 40 years, and it's so satisfying. So let's keep doing it. We have with us today David Salisbury, attorney at law. If you have any questions on wills, probate, estates, trusts, estate planning. So many people establish a trust, but they don't fund it. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk about what a trust is. So many people have misunderstandings. Why do you need a trust if you do? But the one question we had now, though, we talked about lodging a will or filing a will, if you want, with the county, and they keep a record of it. So if you direct people to that will, it'll always be there. It's probably safer than keeping it in under your mattress or even in a safe deposit box. I mean, technically, people could, what do you call it, to hide a will. They hide it. They do. I mean, we've heard of cases like that. If it's a public record or with an attorney, there's a little chance of that happening. There's hardly any chance of that happening. But somebody wants to know, are lodged wills public information?
No.
Good.
No.
So you can't go and say, I want to see.
No. While you're living, they can't take a look at that will. No. And you have the right to remove it whenever you want to.
What were you going to say, Dan?
How about after you die then? Is it public then?
Well, if there's a probate opened, then the answer is yes.
All probate proceedings are public.
Unless the court has sealed them for whatever reason. And they do that every once in a while if there's a conflict or something of that nature. But generally, yeah.
All right, let's keep going here. Dave, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. I'm hoping you guys have an angel with DirecTV.
You know, of all the companies...
My 88-year-old mother lives in Oregon. And when we were out there last month seeing her and checking on her, we bought her a new 40-inch HD TV. And she pays $7 a month to DirecTV for the maintenance on everything. Excuse me. And she called him up with her caretaker, and called him up to get a new HD box. And evidently the guy at DirecTV said, well, to get a new HD box, we're going to charge you another $7 a month, plus you have to re-sign up for 2 years.
You know what? I'm going to say something about DirecTV, and I've said it before, and I still stand by it. Of any company I have ever dealt with, ever, they are the worst. Now, I've not said that. I mean, there are some pretty bad ones, but DirecTV is the worst when it comes to serving their customers or customers' needs or responding or helping. They're the worst. The worst. And they also have the most complaints, or they had, at one time when I looked it up, the most complaints ever lodged with the Better Business Bureau in history. That's DirecTV. So people thinking about it, even if you like the technology or the football package or whatever you like, I urge you never to use DirecTV ever. Ever. And I mean ever. Not one. I have not. Now, the people who are going to call me and say, when I say if you're satisfied, those are the people that never had a problem. Now, if you never have a problem, you will not know how bad they are. The only time you know how bad they are is if you have a dispute. Do you know one guy one time paid his daughter's bill as a present to her 1 month? 4 years later, when she was late on her bill, they dug into their files, found his credit card, and charged him for that deficiency, claiming that he was responsible under the terms and conditions because he once made a payment for her. Now, if you want to complain, Dave, I'm going to tell you the truth. They don't care. It doesn't matter who calls. They don't care. I would like to try to help you with a phone call, okay? But I'm telling you, they don't care.
Are you retired or...
There has never been a company worse. Never.
I don't like their technology anyway. I've only lived one place where I had DirecTV, and I thought it sucked. I just didn't think even the navigating through it. Now, I never had a problem because it wasn't my account, but yeah. I've got Dish, and I've had a couple times where they were a little hard to work with, but when you keep pushing them, then they behave.
CenturyLink is now, they got big class action in Minnesota, so they're, I see them, I dropped them, but they're very more attentive now than they were.
Well, you think people would learn.
For more information, go to
That's just like with cell phones. They have a very high turnover rate every year where people go from Verizon to Sprint, Sprint to Verizon, and more times than not, it's not just about money. It's about service.
Or billing. To me, billing is really the short on the... But you're right, I totally agree.
Escalating tensions over
What do you pay for your cell phone?
President signs
My cell phone, I pay...
Do you have multiple people on it?
No, just me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All-time and very
It's Sprint. And
Do you like Sprint? They got a great deal going on.
Oh, I like Sprint.
They got a deal of $25 per line.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm paying like 90 for it.
And threatening our allies.
So,
let's go together.
Getting official transcripts of phone calls.
No, I'm Verizon right now, which is good, because I think they're all getting better. They're all getting more cell towers and better
if you want to keep customers, you actually have to give them some service every once in a while.
We will work it out.
Yeah, I do got a question as far as on that. So, a lot of people say you're double taxed.
Yeah.
But you're not.
From a political standpoint, that is
Well,
what we will say.
look, you earn income,
I don't know.
and you pay tax on it.
No, I know, but what about you bought a house, or my dad, who was a farm, he bought the land for $30 an acre.
Right.
We're $3,000 an acre.
With an algorithm that positions
So we're going to inherit that tax-free.
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is,
there's a lot.
There's that appreciation that if you had sold the property, you would have paid taxes on it.
Right. But you're right, it's actually earned money that's in there, absolutely.
But you know, and agreeing with you, when you die, whatever you own gets a date of death value. So using your example, you know, buy it for $80, what did you say?
$30 an acre.
$30 an acre, now it's $100 per acre. That's how much it is
That's the basis of
for the heirs when they go and sell it. Seeing the estate taxes only just that against the size of the estate. So I see what you're saying.
And that's what I'm saying is I wish people would make that more clear, the fact that there's, because if he would have sold that, what he was living, it would have been huge, long term, it would have been a huge tax.
And one of the things with the repeal altogether of the estate tax law, they're not going to give you the step up in basis.
Oh, that was going to
So you as the heir, you get the $30 per acre basis. So when you sell it, you will have a tax on it. So that's going to be the flip side of it.
Is that what they're going to do from what that's what they're looking at doing now?
Oh, that's if they repeal it, they probably would then get rid of the step up in basis. So they will get their money. They'll just get it from the heirs.
But how about all money like they had saved money in their bank account? That would just come in there tax free. It's just the basis, so it'd just be like if you own the land.
Real estate's the best example.
Right.
Yeah.
But also stock.
Stock.
You bought an Apple stock at $2 a share.
Right.
And then now, so you would always go back to the basis. To me, that is fair.
I see what your point is.
You know, but everything else.
I never really thought of it that way.
But everything else, if you had paid money, that's in the savings account. You should get that without.
Oh yeah, those kind of things come directly.
Right.
There was no, well, it's just money.
But if it went over now, say you had in your savings account 10 million,
yeah,
5 million that no matter how you earn that would go.
It would just go without tax.
Right. 5 million without tax, you get paid tax, double tax.
So in that case, you would never, you would not be, you would not have to pay. There would be nothing. If you get $10 million comes to you, no estate tax, nothing. You could turn around and, you know, go to the bank and take it all out of there if you wanted to.
Because it's already been paid.
It's already been paid for.
Right.
Yeah.
That
real estate's the best example.
Real estate, stock, all that stuff. It might get a little confusing because now they got to go back and look at what the actual basis was. My dad had the land and he bought 52.
And maybe they'll repeal it altogether and keep the date of death.
But like I say, I would say most people have a basis on stuff. It's either stock they got, it's either real estate, could be artwork, you know, whatever and stuff.
And there are trillions of dollars that started to be, have already been distributed out to the baby boomers from their parents. A lot of money. A lot of assets. The baby boomers, we don't have anything, but we hope our parents do.
Because there was such a big, increase.
It was so cheap, and it was so cheap to save money, and
but don't you think? You know what I heard? I heard it says you paid for your first house is what your kids are going to pay for their first car. Maybe not quite that, but like my folks, when they bought their first house, I bet you it was 15 grand. I bet you it was 20 grand.
Oh, I think that's about what my parents paid for their house too.
And you know, like say in the 50s. So
and
now,
my parents built a home for $38,000 when I was 8 or 10, something like that. Which, when they got out of the house, I forgot what they sold for it. Sold it for, but
300.
They did well. Yeah, I don't remember the exact amount, but they did well on it.
So, like say 38,000. That's a nice car, right?
Yeah.
And here they built a house for that.
With the land. That's
with the land.
land.
Tom Martino, the
Okay.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, the longest running radio show anywhere, with the continual same host, and we are so proud of what we do. Love doing it. Let's do it. Let's do whatever we can to help you. David Salisbury with us, attorney at law for estates and probate, wills, trusts, and estate planning. We'll get to him because we have some questions on trusts. I always get questions on trusts. What are they? How do you form them? What do they do? And if you need one. Then we're also helping you directly with your problems, questions, and complaints. Of course, you can always call to talk to David or talk about anything you want. And as part of my effort, I've established a referral list about 25 years ago, maybe more now. I was first up on the internet years and years ago. And those people have sworn on to answer questions for people, too. They're not just on there to advertise, although it is effective advertising. If you'd ever love to be part of the referral list, let me know. It's not like any other list. You truly do, and anyone on it will tell you, you truly do get challenges, because if you get complaints, we handle them. We don't just sweep them under the rug. Hey, I want to do what it takes to help you. Let's talk to Kenneth. Kenneth is getting evicted, and Kenneth, what's going on?
I'm being harassed, and
by who, Kenneth?
My property that I lease, Greenleaf Coil Ridge.
You what lease?
Greenleaf Coil Ridge is the name of the apartments.
Green lease.
Yes, Coil Ridge.
Green lease, like
No.
in
leaf, right? Like the tree leaf?
Yeah.
Green leaf. Got it.
Yeah, Greenleaf
Got
Coil
it.
Ridge.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's okay. It's my phone.
Quail Ridge. Okay, Greenleaf, Quail Ridge. What are you renting?
I am renting a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom.
And how are you getting harassed?
Well, okay, so I have mold and stuff in my unit, and they won't properly fix it. We had leaks in our ceiling for months.
So you have multiple problems that they won't fix. So
Yeah,
but that's not harassment. That's just a bad landlord. If what you're saying is true. Again, the mold thing, I don't want to get into right now because it's sadly over-exaggerated. But if you have leaks, there's no doubt you probably have some mold. Do you have leaks right now as we speak?
No, because it's not raining.
Okay. So where do we go from here? Is that simply, does it all boil down to that? You have problems they're not fixing.
Yeah, and they're evicting me because they said that I violated Section 13, which was, I guess, being rude to them because they won't fix things in the apartment. So I got rude with them, slammed the door, told them to leave, and then I get a 3-day notice because they said I was rude to them.
Well, you know, they have a right to do that. That doesn't mean they're going to win.
Okay.
So the important thing is that you go through the procedure, because that 3-day notice can come and go. Now,
I already got the eviction right here. If there's a court date on it, I got it yesterday.
Okay, that comes after the 3-day. So now you have a court date set for when?
On the 9th of this month at 8:30 a.m. at Brighton.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what you do at an eviction hearing when the issue is not money. Because you really can't cure, although they have to let you cure in a lease, in an eviction. So You know, the only time they don't have to let you cure is at the end of a lease if they don't want to renew it. But if you owe money, they're supposed to let you cure. What I don't understand is when it's behavioral. How does that change things?
Well, you know, Tom,
we're going to find out. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is, what does it say in that section 13? And as a judge, if you don't say anything to him again, and you go to court, and you just say, hey, I'm not going to do that again. We had a disagreement. It's pretty normal. You may find the judge is going to say, well, this isn't a money thing. You're current with your rent. And I'm not going to kick you out of here just because you had a disagreement with someone who came to the...
Yeah, that's why I'm saying there's a good chance...
you threatened them.
There's a good chance that there's a good chance the judge will not allow that eviction, but you have to go and defend yourself. I'm trying to get a legal opinion here. And Daphne, when you get one of our attorneys on... Now, David, I really respect your opinion. David,
no, I think you. I mean, yeah. I'm not offended.
Because you don't really do tenant landlord a lot.
No, I don't.
But the guy who does most of our tenant landlord is on vacation. We're going to get someone else. But Daph, don't get him on unless they specifically know about this issue. And here's what it is: a non-monetary eviction. We would like to know if they have a right to cure that, if it's behavioral. You see, that's different than, okay, here's the money.
And Kenneth, when is your lease done?
When is the lease done? When is it?
It's October 31st is when it's officially over.
Well, let's put it this way, Kenneth. You know they're going to, even if you skate past this one, they're going to get rid of you at the end of October.
That's fine with me. It's just I'm a cancer patient as well, and they know that I'm going through cancer, and they know I'm sick, and they just won't work with me. I mean, they do, but they say they do, but they don't. You know what I mean? They don't.
What cancer do you have?
I have large B-cell lymphoma.
Well, Kenneth, listen, we will talk to our attorney. Hold on, see what we can find out about you. Sherry?
Yes.
What's going on? What's going on?
Well, my sister was killed yesterday in the school explosion in Minnesota. And
my God.
I'm from Boulder, and currently living in the middle of nowhere, Idaho, trying to get back to my family in Minnesota.
So you are in Idaho right now?
Yeah, I'm in Orofino, Idaho.
And you're trying to get back to Minnesota?
Yeah, to be with my family, but my brother and my two brothers are with my mom, and I know my one older brother is taking care of arrangements for my sister.
What happened? What happened?
God, Tom.
Oh my God, what is it? Did you say an explosion at a school?
Yeah.
Natural gas.
Yeah.
Were any children killed?
Thank God, no. There weren't children there. They don't go back to school to next week. But they have the business offices in session year-round.
Was your sister the receptionist?
She was. And I found out on the news. I happened to be online, and I saw a picture of her school because I've been there before to visit her. And they said explosion at Minnehaha Academy.
Her name is Ruth? Is her name Ruth?
Her name is Ruth Berg. We call her Dee Dee.
A long-time receptionist.
Yeah,
at the school.
There about 17 years. And
everyone loved her.
Everyone loved her. And Tom, reading all the comments from her friends and co-workers, me being alone, kind of in the middle of nowhere, it really got me through last night. So I did want to thank everybody for their kind thoughts and their prayers. Tom, I had a question. My sister didn't own much in the way of material things, and I want to be armed with a little bit of information when I go back to help with arrangements, but I know that she did have some kind of insurance policy through working at the school. my question is, she also had a lot of credit card debt, unfortunately. She didn't listen to you. And I was wondering what happens with that credit card debt when somebody passes away. Do they go after the insurance money?
David, I think insurance money is outside of the estate.
Yeah, Sherry, look, I don't know the law in Utah, but I would tell you the insurance company's going to pay who the beneficiary is on the policy, and those credit card companies should not be able to get at that. And if she didn't have anything else, the answer is to the credit card people, there was no estate when she died. And that's not the first time they'll hear it, and it's not the last time they'll hear it. And that should be the way it goes. Now, if there are other assets, and they're in her name, like a car or a home or something of that nature, and she died with them in her name, then that's a different story if there's money there.
I think the only thing that she had was a car.
And you know what? Generally, they don't want a car. They want money.
Yeah.
And unless it was some very expensive car, they're not going to want it.
No.
No, they won't take it.
So what else is in the estate? Do they have a...
There's nothing. I mean, she was renting. She just had clothes, and that was about it. She didn't really have anything. She was very, humble, middle-class person who was going to get married next month.
Oh, my God.
She leaves behind a 23-year-old daughter who also just lost her half-sister to suicide. So this family is very much in distress. And also, I'd just like to warn everybody about when you see people working on gas lines, because we don't have the full story of what happened yet. There is a big investigation that's going on. But all I know is that there were workers who were working and digging, and they hit a gas line. It was right outside her window, unfortunately, and someone ran in to warn them there was a gas leak, and they took like 2 steps, and that was it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and like I said, her name is Ruth Bird.
Was she taken to the hospital, or was she dead at the scene?
It was immediate, yes. And there was also a custodial worker who was killed, and he was buried under the rubble. They didn't find him until last night, and the explosion happened, I guess, late morning yesterday. So there were 9 people injured. So
okay. Listen, what can we do to help? What do you need?
You know what, Tom? All I'm going to do is I'm going to call the airlines and
bereavement. They do have bereavement fares.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what are you doing? What are you doing in Idaho? You're from Boulder. You're in Idaho. You're going to Minnesota.
Yeah. I moved to Idaho last year to be near my adopted sister. It's my birth sister that died.
Okay.
And I'm not too happy here. There's not any jobs, so I haven't worked in about a year. So I'm trying to hopefully get moved back to Colorado, where I can probably get a job pretty easily.
Call us before you hire anyone, like movers and stuff, if you need any other help. And
okay.
And let us know if you have any problem. Daphne's going to give you a number for a call back. If you have any problems with the bereavement fare, call us back. Absolutely, positively call us back if you have any problems with the bereavement fare. Okay, that's important. Really important. We have more coming up.
Gas wasn't bad. This report is brought to you by Lowe's. No major problems in your drive across the metro area. There's a minor crash being cleared southbound I-25 near Downing. Not seeing any major delays there. A few slow spots to watch out for in town. Southbound I-25, it's heavy between Park and Spear. Northbound slow between Alameda and Colfax in that typical spot downtown. Westbound I-270, a bit stop and go between Quebec and Vasquez. Look out for slow speeds on westbound I-70 approaching York. The weather forecast could be a chance for thunderstorms later on this afternoon with a cool high today of only 72. Tonight, thunderstorms continue, then partly cloudy overnight, a low of 55. Right now, mostly cloudy and 70. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only.
Did you know slow internet can actually hold your business back? Say goodbye to slow downloads, slow backups, slow everything. Comcast Business offers blazing fast and reliable internet that's over 6 times faster than slow internet from the phone company. Say hello to fast internet speeds up to 250 megabits per second. Plus, did you know that in addition to fast internet, you can also add TV and phone for your business for just an additional $34.90 a month? Comcast Business TV helps keep your employees informed. And you get full-featured phone service with unlimited local and long-distance calls. And did you know all this is only a phone call away? Call 800-501-6000.
That's a good question, though, about if you're rude to an employee or... I'd like to see that court, what the court's going to do on that one.
TV for new customers, 2-year contract required. Requires Comcast Business Internet at additional monthly charge. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast 250 megabits per second and 40 megabits per second DSL downloads.
Major key alert! Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by GetSchooled and the Ad Council.
Nothing is more important than your health. Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's finest.
Hey Dave, I thought you agreed on that. You agreed on all my. Was I pushing it too much?
Let's see. That would be no. No.
Not only no, but no.
Don't waste your money on big box internet or
I am interested though. What happened?
Fitness Gallery for over 20 years.
Like you said, you asked for what's in Section 13. I would like to see how it's.
Yeah, I've never seen anything in a lease like that. I have never seen that before in a lease.
And I've never looked at it.
And so what's hostile? And does one event of hostility mean they can terminate a lease? And I think the answer is no.
I would say
and I think if this guy goes in front and says what to a judge and throws in, I can't move, I'm in the process of dealing with cancer. This isn't like a big deal.
I agree.
And if you've ever been and seen what happens with evictions, it's very loosey-goosey. They don't, you can represent yourself and the judge doesn't say, well, that's not the proper way to proceed. They pretty much let you go.
Let you go, just like other small claims.
And I think most judges are going to.
Especially, like I said, the cancer, if he has leak, especially if he brings in there and shows them, it's leaking, they're not fixing it, this is what I got upset about. Like I say, come October.
Now, if it was money, that's different.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Take aim.
Like I say, come October 31st, end of that lease.
More Coloradans every day.
I would assume that.
And you know what would be interesting to know? Are they planning to keep his, if they kick him out, are they going to keep his security in his last months or rent or whatever he's already given him? That would be ballsy.
Yeah, that would be very ballsy. All I say is, say what damage is.
Yeah, nobody's taking pictures of everything.
More craniacs on that.
Unless you said, hey, if you all don't get out of here or you don't fix it by tomorrow, I'm going to go kill some people. That's different. Yes. But then they would have called the cops if he had said something like that.
Absolutely. And the front always says, no, I didn't say that. It's not their word against his word. And then, like, say, if he did say that, why didn't they call the cops? You're right.
Quail Ridge is very familiar. I wonder if I drive by it sometime.
Green Leaf, Quail Ridge.
That must just be a section of the complex, maybe.
Very well could be.
Because the Quail Ridge is familiar.
Is that a pretty good one?
I don't know.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Kenneth is being evicted because he was rude to the staff at the apartment complex. He got a 3-day notice to move. He did not move, so they served him with eviction hearing. With an eviction hearing, he's going to that hearing. In most evictions, they have to give you a period to cure. So you either cure or quit. Well, how do you cure this one, and do they have to give him a right? I'm going to ask one of our attorneys on the referral list, referralist.com, Mark Kranak. Now, he does mostly criminal law and some other stuff, but he has done tenant landlord in the past. And Mark, what is your take on this? Is there a possibility to cure this?
That's an interesting question because, you know, the landlord is allowed to evict if there's, I think the language in the statute, Tom, is a substantial violation of the lease term. It has to be a big deal, like non-payment of rent. And so that's the one issue that stands out at me. In terms of curing where there's
and by the way, I doubt they have a history of events, right? They don't have, Kenneth, any events that they've ever had this before, right?
Right.
I mean, there is no record of you ever doing this before, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Ken's mother. We're at the hospital, and he went into radiation.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I live there with him, but I'm trying to.
Okay, so Ken, what's your name?
Deborah.
So Deborah, is there a record ever of him doing this ever before?
There was one 4 months ago, but it wasn't against the staff.
What was it?
That incident with the people upstairs, which was.
And they complained about him?
No, the cops were called. I don't even know why management.
I'm telling you, this could be a problem. This could be a problem. Mark Kranak, what if they bring up the fact that police were called a few months ago because a neighbor complained about his attitude?
No, Kenny.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom.
Wait.
Ken, problem, but you know, the devil's in the details there. It depends on the specific facts and circumstances. You know, anybody could pick up the phone and call the cops.
Yeah, Kenny called the police, it turns out.
What actually happened, you know?
So Kenneth called the police, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do believe he has police reports on it.
All right, so I guess so. The bottom line is, if you're listening for him, he goes to court and he says, look, I need a right to cure, and or I want to take a right to cure, and I will, I'm a cancer patient, I had chemo, I'm not feeling well, and it won't happen again. I mean, is that what he does?
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I'd advise quickly penning off a letter, certified letter, very brief letter, landlord saying, look, I dispute that I've done anything, but if I did, I won't do it again. Something like that. That's not the exact legal, I don't know, jargon I would use.
I wouldn't. And then, I mean,
where he has a court date set up, Tom, I think it's going to turn on, what happened, and there's going to be a provision in the lease which requires, the tenant to be orderly, not cause criminal law problems. And so, the hearing, if it goes all the way to that, I think it's going to turn on that issue, that lease provision and what happened.
Yes, I agree. So the deal is he has a hearing, and he just has to figure out what happens. I mean, really, it comes down to he has to he has to put up his best defense and then see what the judge says. I mean, but it is possible he will be ordered to move.
Yeah, Tom, if I was handling this case, I would pull the if there's cops and the police involved, I would pull the police reports, take a look at them, possibly subpoena a witness.
No, there were no cops called on this one with the landlord. They just saying he's rude. He wanted things fixed. Mark Kranak, thank you very much. He's on the referral list. Referralist.com. Kranak is spelled Kraynak. So it's Kranak, 2 Ks. 303-999-3900. 303-999-3900. Deborah, get back to us on it. There's not much we can do about it at this point. Okay? Not much. He's going to have to go to court and protect himself. Ken. What's happening, Ken?
Yes, I want to compliment one of your sponsors. It's called Critter Roundup.
Yes.
That young man was so good to us this past summer. You couldn't have asked for a better person.
I'm really glad that you had good luck on the referral list. What else is going on with you?
Well, I got a law question. I want to change my personal representative. My wife, if I were to die, my wife is the personal representative. If we were both to go together, say an accident, and we have one of our children, can we just take that child out by initialing it on a will? Does that cover it?
Ken, I wouldn't do that. I always tell people don't ever mark up an original will, because then now we have an issue of whether it's a valid will anymore. What you can do is what's called an amendment to the will, and lawyers speak for that as a codicil. But all it is an amendment. And it would be a very short little amendment that would need to be done, removing one and replacing with another. And I'd be glad to talk to you about that off air if you would like to. It's not an expensive item to have done for you.
Okay. I'll get your number up. My wife's not around now, but we wanted to change the name of one of the children.
Okay, and you can do that. You can find David on my referral list.
Oh, okay.
At referrallist.com.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
And those listening, David Salisbury, it's spelled exactly as it sounds, with a U, Salisbury, 1 R. And you can find him on the referral list. Also, his number is 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911. So, anyway, we were going to talk about trust, and we'll do that and more coming up. You have a couple lines open. You can get right through. 303-713-TALK. Now, Michael claims he's owed $11 grand. How does he collect? We'll talk about it.
Now, Dan, if you ask me whether I'm a real big supporter of the mooch, now that's a definite. I'm sorry to see him go, because he was going to be so much fun.
He was fun entertainment.
That's what I mean. Spicer was that way too. I was really sorry to see him go.
The mooch was the best.
The mooch was the best. Do you know he has a law degree from Harvard?
Right. You see his wife? Did she still divorce him? Now that he got fired?
Now I don't know. She filed because she didn't want to live in Washington with all the crazy shit.
Oh, I thought she just didn't like Trump.
Oh, well, that was part of it, but she didn't want to move down there.
She's 9 months pregnant.
Yeah. Can you imagine divorcing someone when you're 9 months pregnant? And he owns some kind of hedge fund.
When I think it's the best, I don't mean
while also allowing you to participate in the growth
No, I understand.
As America's largest independent
investment advisor. What else can you say?
Well, I say he's entertainment. You know, he was Democrat.
To more than 9 million
oh,
people.
I know. At one time he was.
And comprehensive planning.
No, he was definitely entertainment.
So was Trump.
So
was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, but I think he's this mooch guy.
For providing monthly income.
But I think that is
please. Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Not the mooch guy.
But I think that Marine General, when he went in that, he says, I'm not going to put up with that, I want him out.
Nothing is more
You can't have people
Marine officers, let me tell you, are
talking about like Bannon saying about him sucking he likes to suck his own.
The best in the industry.
About Bannon.
Top rated travel for the last 25 years. For 46 years. Carry lifetime warranty on all parts. Don't waste your money on big box, internet, or infomercial inferior products. At Fitness Gallery for over 20 years, we've been providing the highest quality
screamed it at some
So me, and you're right, great entertainment figure, but that's how he is. I mean, can you imagine everybody's
your health? Come in and visit one of our 2 convenient
almost like
locations and
Stripe,
try every piece of equipment
right?
before you
I think he thought that's what Trump wanted. I think he was channeling Trump, but even Trump said that. Although, don't forget.
Check us out at fitnessgallery.com.
Have you heard that? Have you heard the whole? No. You want to hear the whole thing? He talks about, when he sees a really good-looking woman, he just gives them a big kiss and he says, and they like it because, basically, I'm Donald Trump. I'm thinking, no, they don't. You meet the wife of the brand new president of France, and what do you say? You're a good chick. That's what he said.
That's a good comment.
Which is why I'm doing it myself.
You don't say that to him. You're in a downtown healthcare.
No, you don't.
know. Well, you
know what you say? Nice to meet you.
LJJlaw.com.
Call
us with any legal questions at 303-504-4248. Call us now at 303-504-4248. Catch us this Sunday at 9:30 Law right here on Pay Out to learn more. This is David Jaffa, Devin James and Jaffa at LJJlaw.com. Call us 303-504.
No.
If you agree with what his positions are, okay, that's
what I like.
You cannot justify what comes out of his mouth.
I agree. I care less about the law. What I see is the corporate tax, the repatriation of money. You know, and if they did that, if he would just say this, you know, every dollar we repatriate, we'll take that 10% off. That will go for the infrastructure bill that they're trying to get to help pay for the infrastructure. They said they can get $1 trillion. That'd be $100 billion.
U.S. veteran. American
that's a big infrastructure, right? And they say yes, you use it for that.
Advantage of your VA benefits.
And he's right about that. The infrastructure in this country,
and that's all parties are talking about that.
It needs to be done. And it's like during the Depression, where they build like the
existing
built all these projects.
You may even be able to take out cash to pay off some of your existing debt, so you can save hundreds of dollars a month in interest.
Did you the whole thing of cycling money through it?
Previously used
Did you ever go to these places that were built by?
I went to the Hoover Dam.
Right, that could have been the Tennessee Valley,
Valley Authority.
But like in Minnesota, and these are kids that went, I mean like 16-year-old kids, and they basically went there. They would never allow this law. And they had to send so much of their money home. And there's letters I read, you know, from the kids saying, hey, you know, we're
going out of town. Take us with you and download the
today,
radio app
they would say this is slave labor. But they weren't paying them. And they had to send so much of their money home also to help out the folks. But no, I think it was a good thing.
I'm Tom Martino, a consumer advocate.
On radio, TV, and the internet, solving your problems, answering your questions, taking your complaints. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and also Troubleshooter.com is up and running. It also connects directly to Referralist.com. I urge you to check it out. Troubleshooter.com. Okay, let's talk. Michael says he's owed a lot of money here. Michael, how are you owed so much money? 11 grand.
That's right. Hey Tom, thanks for taking my call today. Let's see. So I was doing this with a company, the Cashiers. They're out of Arizona, and I think we fulfilled about 14 orders.
What did you do for them?
So we make clear protective covers for personal electronics, like screen protectors for iPods and cell phones and stuff like that. And so we made some screen protectors for them for a tablet that they make that goes into golf carts, I believe.
Okay, and that's why they're called digital caddies?
Correct.
And Michael, you are here in Colorado, in Denver?
I am, and so we've been in business since about 2005.
And you manufacture all kinds of harnesses for iPads and stuff?
So they're not harnesses; they're like clear film covers for protective film for personal electronics, and we sell them on our website.
What's your website? I'd like to look it up.
It's bestskinsever.com.
And how is your business doing?
Not too bad, you know, pays the bills, so.
Cool. And you make them right here in Denver?
We do.
Cool. And, okay, so what are they made of? I'm looking at your site here. What are they made out? Are they glass? Are they plastic? Are they flexible? What are they?
So it's a heavy-duty urethane product that was actually originally designed to protect the leading edge of helicopter blades in sandy environments.
Sure. Okay, and so this goes on. And do you sell them in bulk, like to Best Buy and stuff like that, or do you sell them only direct?
We do a little bit of bulk business with some international customers, but mostly we're kind of focused on kind of direct-to-consumer sales.
Very cool. I love to hear stories like this. Did you start the business?
I did. It was just kind of creative project back in 2005 that I was like, see if I can do this, and it snowballed from there, and here we are.
What's amazing to me is it's such a competitive market. Everywhere you look, there's a cover.
It is, and with all the cheap stuff that's on Amazon, it's hard to stand out. But you know, like I said, we've been doing it for about 12 years now. So
it's not only hard to stand out; it's just hard to make money because of the low prices with technology now, and everybody cutting each other's throat. You know.
Right, exactly.
And also, I mean, geez, manufacturing right here in the States, that's amazing. Do you actually manufacture here or just distribute here?
We manufacture. It's when you say manufacture, what we do isn't really involved, so there isn't a whole lot of cost in it.
You're cutting out the plastic, though, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We design the kits and then cut them.
Okay, so anyway, what can we do for you? You want to collect money. Have you ever had a collection business? I mean, not a collection business, but have you ever engaged a collection business? In your business, you would think that you would do that because there are some great collection attorneys around. I don't mean for consumer debt, but for businesses.
Sure, and actually, we've been working with one of the attorneys on the referral list, and he sent out a demand letter for us, but unfortunately, they just kind of ignored that, and we're kind of getting to the end of our statute of limitations here, I think.
Now, was the attorney you used on a referral list? Who was he? Who was it?
So it was another gentleman out of Brandon Sigling's office.
Okay, yeah, because he can do collections, I was going to say. And so did Brandon or him have another suggestion on what to do then?
You know, at this
point, they can sue.
Yeah, and at the price, you know, at the amount of money that we're owed.
You're right.
It kind of made sense that we would probably just try to do small claims, because anything above that, you know, it would just get eaten up in attorney's fees anyway.
All right. Here's what I'm thinking. We should call them first and just see if that's going to matter to them. Tell them that we're a radio show and we got a complaint, and before we make a big deal about it on the air, we want to check it out.
I did call him, Tom, and I just got I left a message there.
Okay.
I couldn't get anybody direct.
Couldn't get anyone. Did you get voicemail? Is that what you
Yes, yes.
So how many hours ago?
2 hours ago.
Okay, so did Michael have an email before the call then? Is that what it was?
Correct.
Okay. Or was it 303 Martino? It was email?
Email.
Okay. So, and the reason we're having that discussion, people can email us all the time, live at troubleshooter.com, help at troubleshooter.com. They can also call 303 Martino 24/7, and we get back to them. And of course, Mike is living proof of that. Okay, so Mike, here's what we'll do. We will just see if we get a return call. If not, we'll step it up another notch. I'll put this on Dan's radar here to try again, and then we'll just take it from there. I mean, a lot of times the embarrassment we bring can do it. You know, it can really. Just enough to light a fire, because Mike, it looks like Digital Caddies is a legit biz, which is good, because what I'm saying is that helps you if you have to collect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons I wanted to call you guys, because they're actually a publicly traded company, and so I figured a little of the Martino pressure could maybe get us somewhere.
Hey, is your product flexible? Really flexible, like it can go around curves?
It is. It's actually, that's one of the advantages. It's good for going around the curved glass and some of the new...
Does it come in... I have a weird question, and it may seem very strange. Does it come in colors?
We don't currently do a whole lot of colors. We have a limited selection, but it is something that we're looking to
But what if I needed something... I was just thinking about this just the other day. It's a miracle I'm talking to you. I'm looking for a specific product for a specific reason. And if I told you, I'd have to kill you. But I just wonder. No, like, would that material, any of your suppliers, have that material in a, let's say, solid color that you can't see through?
Yes.
Okay, now, another question. Is it, can you get it with adhesive backing, or how do you adhere it?
They're all adhesive backing.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I call you? Because I'm just looking for a source for something, and it has nothing to do with your business, but you may help me out on where I can find it.
Sure, and if it's something I can't do directly,
sure.
I'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
You know, this is a God thing. When I'm thinking about what I need yesterday, and I talk to a guy like this today, that's what I call it. But anyway, hey, Daff, could you get his number off the air? Tell him, of course, we'll keep it private. I'm going to call him.
Now,
yes.
Michael, you also wanted to see about suing him in small claims court. How would he do that when they were in Arizona?
Well, here's how I would attempt to sue him here, in that the transaction was here. I'd make the argument. Now, if the judge accepts it here, that's their problem. But I would wait before you do that, obviously. You can only go to $7,500. But then again, you can sue them in county court, too. I mean, it's not that hard, Michael, for you to sue for money, because you're not making any allegations at all, except you had a contract. You have they had the material. Even if they deny a contract, they have the material, and then which is the Quantum Marriott. They benefited. So I use that a lot, but that's really what it is. So many people say, we did it on the phone. You can't get me in. Well, yes, you accepted product. You accepted enrichment. You're not allowed to be merited without some kind of some kind of payment. So anyway, here it is. We'll take it one step at a time and worry about that afterwards.
And some of these bills are coming up to 3 years. Is that a...
Oh! Well, a statute of limitations, that's interesting. In Colorado... Now, David, I don't know if you even know, but statute of limitations for collection is 6 years in Colorado. I wonder what that is, the federal statute of limitations for collections. I don't know. Do you?
No, I don't know.
Federal, let me look it up. I mean, we'll look it up on the federal statute of limitations, and I'll do that without boring you during a break, okay? Really quickly. Okay, Cindy's got a question. Cindy, welcome.
Yes. Thank you. I do have a question for David. I have a stepfather that's going to be 93 in September, and he and my mom both live with us. He's getting to the point where we're looking at what our possibilities are with getting into a nursing home. Now, they don't have a lot of money. He has nothing, and my mom has a small IRA. He is a vet. We're trying to see if we can do something that way or Medicaid.
I'll tell you what. Okay, wait, Cindy, the reason I'm saying I'll tell you what, let's give you more time right after this, because I would like to have him answer that with more time available. Okay? Pure water choices. This is a big deal right now because there are a lot of people using fear tactics and lies to get into your home to test your water. Here's the truth about water. Most all water is safe. Doesn't mean it's healthy. It's safe. But even the healthiest water allows certain traces of medications and things in water because they can't get it 100% pure. Not unless you go to Pure Water Choices. Now, there is no fear involved here. They can make your water better. And it's simple and easy. Filtration. Either point of use or you do it with a whole house. And Pure Water Choices with Al, a master plumber, he'll give you a free evaluation and simply recommend what you need. You make the choice. It's that easy. And it's all filtration. Now, he's the only one that I know of that will tell you the truth about filtration. No one filter does it. You need a combination filter. Carbon for the gases, media like paper or ceramic for the sediment, chemicals, and minerals. So give Al a call, get a free evaluation, find out the truth about your water with no obligation. PureWaterChoices.com, 720-219-7818, 720-219-7818.
Trouble spots to watch out for when you drive across town. A couple of problems on southbound I-25, one on the north end, the wreck approaching 84th there off to the right shoulder. Watch out for backups to 104th. And a possible crash in the tech center, southbound I-25 at Bellevue. Off highway, watch out for an accident at southbound Spear and Lawrence. And watch out for an auto pedestrian accident under investigation Broadway north of Stout. And some unauthorized slowing on the westbound side of Pena Boulevard at Tower. The weather forecast. A chance of showers later on this afternoon, a cool high of 72. Mostly cloudy and 70.
What's happening, y'all?
Pete Wagner.
Hey, so just a heads up, Angie's taking over at noon, but I loaded your carne almost
and always will be delicious. What's going on? You guys are working.
I gotta go do the Rockets game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, he doesn't even like the Rockets.
You're back on the Rockets?
No, but it's a break from all Broncos all the time, 24/7, which I have to do every afternoon now.
All right. The Broncos.
I cannot believe. Will that station even off season be all Broncos all? Oh my God. Do you think our town can sustain that?
Yeah. Sadly. Well, what I wonder is how successful it'll be because it's an AM station with not a great signal. It's like, and what's going to happen when the team sucks this year, which there's a very good chance they're going to not be very good.
Unless they get players coming in to interview all year long, then
that's probably the plan. But I mean, what the hell are you going to talk about in March, April, and May?
I agree.
It's dumb.
Well, you got the
draft. The Rockies are good.
After the draft,
yeah,
that's really where it's going to.
But you're going to have a scenario here where the Rockies are going to be good for the next 4 or 5 years, and the Broncos are just going to be shit. I think the dynamic in this town is going to shift a little bit.
Hey, what do you think of Terrell Davis getting in the Hall of Fame?
Are you taking
because he didn't play very long. I got like 3 footballs signed by him.
Yeah, but how long did Gale Sayers play? He didn't play.
He didn't play all that.
Didn't play
That's a good
long
question.
either.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So and he's
Gale Sayers never got a Super Bowl.
Considered an icon.
But I mean,
he only played like 5 years.
You watched TD's 4 or 5 years when he was good. He was phenomenal.
Well, he had over 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
He got MVP. You're right.
He was unreal for that short amount of time. He was unreal.
But then Terrell Davis was unreal.
No, Terrell Davis is
talking about.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look like he's got MVP, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Most valuable player.
I think MVP of Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2,000 yards. And there's only been 4 people that got 2,000?
5 guys have done it.
5?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Eric Dickerson.
We've been providing the highest
Jamal Lewis.
Peterson?
No. Yeah, I think Peterson did do it. Jamal Lewis and Terrell Davis. Jamal Lewis. They were both
for the Ravens.
Yeah. 10 years
he
ago.
was kind of a one-hit wonder. Yeah. He had that incredible season, and then I mean he was good.
Yeah. I think it was 5 guys who did it, and I feel like OJ did it too. But I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
No. I think
Look it up.
I'm looking it up. And then both of you guys got to agree.
Hurry.
Well, you know, nobody wanted to tackle OJ because he always had this like knife in his hand, and little we knew how good he was with it.
But he didn't want to like make them mad, so I said that.
Yeah, you're tough.
You know what? I find people like him, and there's so many of them. You create this. You got good PR people and stuff. People buy into the whole thing that you're just this wonderful person, and that's what people thought.
7 people got 2,000 yards.
Concur integrates with leading finance systems.
Dan, who all did it?
The process better.
OJ, Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, Jamal Lewis, Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson.
Barry Sanders did it too?
Yep.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Select
I didn't either.
And the most.
savings event.
Eric Dickerson has the
Chris
most.
Johnson too.
Chris Johnson, yeah, I knew Chris Johnson. Yeah. Hey, well, he's got what are the asterisks?
Oh, interesting.
And fix your sleep. Beauty Rest factors for the savings. Find a retailer at beautyrestRetailers.com. Get your Beauty Rest at Mountain Comfort Furnishings and Design in Frisco or Mile High Mattress in Lakewood.
Ross Kaminsky, mornings 5 to 10.
Two young conservative stars, Guy Benson and Mary Catherine Ham.
Do you have Corey's email? Corey down at the front desk, your other email.
Guy and MK join the show Friday morning at 6:36 here on 630 K-How.
I forgot to tell Drew he's getting jiggy with his music.
Hi, Tom Martino here. So Cindy, we'll go back to who has a question, any questions you have. You can reach us 24/7 at 303-MARTINO. Spread the word about this show, please, because it benefits everyone. Those who listen, those who call. It doesn't benefit the liars, cheats, and ripoffs. Cindy, so you have a 93-year-old dad.
Yep.
going in a nursing home or in a nursing home?
No, he and my mom live with us.
Oh.
And we're trying to keep him with us for as long as possible.
And
but
then?
we're trying to get everything prepared in case he does have to go to a nursing home.
And you mean prepared how? Do you want to, and I just want to ask you something straight up. A lot of people ask this question of David, and I'm just going to say it because people ask. How do we legally prepare to get my father into a nursing home without depleting everything in the world, because we want him to be eligible for Medicaid? Because can't people get both Medicare and Medicaid?
Yeah, Medicare is generally the whole medical thing, health, whereas Medicaid pays for people with disabilities, including people who go into nursing care.
Okay,
but with Medicaid, you pretty much have to spend down everything you have. Now, as far as...
What are the rules with that? Like if you... And I know Cindy's not asking me this, but I'm asking.
No, I understand.
So I hear people say, well, my dad's got 50 grand. That's all he has to his name. It's not right. He should have to spend all that. And I say, well, that's what your money is for. I mean, in other words, I don't believe in spending money down. But people want to know, well, how do I do it? Can they give me money?
They can give away money. However, what happens with Medicaid is they have a 60-month, 5-year look back saying, okay, you gave the money away last year and now you're trying to apply for Medicaid. We're going to treat that money you gave away as if you still own it. So, if you want to start early, but in most cases, as with you, Cindy, the time is now, just about. And so what do you do? But he doesn't have anything.
No, but in the case where
the wife lives with you, I mean, your mother lives with you.
A small IRA.
How much?
A little over $100,000.
That's not small.
Yeah.
So what happens to that?
Would they take that?
I don't think they would take it. What they would do is he's got nothing, and I think he would probably qualify, even though she...
No, that's her IRA. They won't go into that if it's truly hers.
Yeah.
But he does make a lot on his retirement that comes in.
How much?
It's $2,000, and
well, then the nursing home would take that,
right?
And the Medicaid people would pay the difference.
Or Medicare.
Yeah, Medicaid. I mean, for the nursing home. So in other words, they would take his retirement money.
Medicare doesn't pay anything toward nursing home.
No, it's Medicaid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
what
they
if
would.
He's a World War II vet. I mean, could you go that way, in that direction?
Well, yeah, but no matter what it is, his income has to go toward it first. Every bit of it, and then the government. It's not the other way around. So he has to pay. If he's making $2,000 a month, what is he making it on?
Just his retirement.
What is that? Social Security? Is it so?
It's a little bit of that, but I think mostly his. I don't know. He was an engineer for GE. So
okay, whatever it is, his retirement plan is paying him about $2,000 a month, and that will definitely $3,000. That will definitely
a little over $3,000, and that's too much for Medicaid.
Well, it is. He's not going to be eligible, so he's in one of those gaps, and you can't give up income. He can't say I don't want it, but he's in one of those areas where, because what he has coming in, he's got to self-pay.
Yeah, and you know what? You could find a place and see what you could work out with them by giving them the $3,000 a month, and then your mom, if she wanted to, and of course she wants to keep that money, she could supplement it from her IRA so that he goes to a decent facility, because $3,000 is not going to buy him a great facility.
Well, isn't it unfortunate, though, because he has income, he has enough income to be dangerous, in other words?
Yeah, basically, the government's not going to pay if you got money.
But do they supplement it at least, Medicaid?
No, they're not going to supplement it because he has the income. You'll have to supplement it.
Oh, that is weird. Cindy, let's try to figure this out. I mean, this is weird.
Are you retired or planning for retirement?
I know. No, what I'm saying is, what is it? Let's say it's $8,000 a month, $6,000 a month. They have to put $3,000 in.
Yeah.
Yet if he was making only $500 a month, the government would pay almost all of it.
You're invited to.
Well, they pay up to a certain amount. But if you want to put somebody in a decent facility,
Well,
that's
taxes
not
are
going to
really
cover it.
retirement. If you saved a lot for retirement, taxes could be your largest expense. What can you do to reduce your taxes? And the second class, 7 retirement threats and mistakes to avoid, so you don't outlive your money. In these classes, I'll share
On football, O.J.
concepts
Simpson
and
made it
questions
14
you need to
games, and
consider
everybody else
to
did
make the
16
right
games.
decisions for your
7
financial
people.
future. See Sarah
Oh, that's right, because that was scheduled. We didn't have as many games.
For more information, go to
7 people over 2,000
registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com. Or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
This is Denver's talk station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. KHOW.
Yeah, I can see what Troll had. He had 21 touchdowns, but most of
I'm Lillian Wu. Fox News has learned the president is looking for a different strategy in Afghanistan.
Day after a suicide bomber attacked a NATO convoy, killing 2 U.S. Army soldiers and wounding 4 other Americans. But a White House source says the president is not considering firing General John Nicholson, the commander of U.S. forces in Afghanistan.
Fox Radio's John Decker reporting that the White House is considering sending several thousand more troops to Afghanistan. The president earlier
The IRA is in payout status. In other words, if he had an IRA, but it wasn't in payout status, then it's exempt. But once he starts taking out, now he didn't have
And the wife of
it.
the
She
Florida
had it.
nightclub massacre shooter
He doesn't
plans
have
to
the
say
IRA.
that
She
she
does.
suffers from PTSD at her trial, according to court documents. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This report is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers today and a high of 73. Tonight, mostly cloudy and low around 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 85. Saturday, mostly sunny.
You can only have $2,000 in cash.
Top-notch engine
They
protection
don't
for
have a home.
One full synthetic motor oil is back for just $5.79 a quart at any participating Napa Auto Parts store. That's Napa know-how. General States
Oh
prices
man, the
do
missing
not
man
include
found
applicable
dead in
state
an
or
elevator?
local taxes
Yeah.
and recycling fees.
How
They've
did
been
that
looking
happen?
for him. I don't know. How do you get down there unless you go down? And how would you get? How would you?
Where was he?
I mean, he was at the bottom of it.
In the elevator shaft?
Yeah, I think he was at the. I think he was at the bottom of the shaft.
In the shaft?
I think so. I saw that.
That's too sad.
Lifetime warranty on all parts.
Didn't anybody notice that there was maybe a little odor?
University and C470. Fitness
Oh,
Tower,
and
Gig Hard,
elevator hit his little squishy.
iHeartRadio is
Hey, this thing's really got a good landing. We're going to
Come on, Dave, that's not.
We're going to. I've already accepted the fact.
The iHeartRadio app creates a custom station just for you. With the smartest conversations, you know what? It's that easy. And as you listen, thumbs up or thumbs down, we personalize the station to suit your taste. So right there on your phone, it's in your pocket. KHOW and your own custom stations based on your choices.
This one in New Orleans?
iHeartRadio app now.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom
Where was it?
Martino on 630
This one here is New Orleans. When was it? On July 5th.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. This is a consumer advocacy show. We call it the Troubleshooter Show, where we solve problems, we answer questions, we take complaints, we make your life easier by answering those questions or getting directly involved. We have solved so many problems. Over the years, we've actually recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for people, hundreds of millions in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And we continue every single day, Monday through Friday on the radio, of course, and off the radio we work as well. We also, of course, have a big presence on the internet. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, okay? And Troubleshooter.com is up and running, separate from Referralist.com, although they're both interlinked. I encourage you to look them up. And also follow us on all the social media. Now, we talked about a very terrible situation. Well, I don't know if it's terrible. It's caught in the, what do you call it? Caught in the what? In the gap. You have let's say you don't have enough to support yourself in a nursing home. You can't pay for everything. You don't have enough. You got $3,000 a month coming in. But you have too much, so you get no public assistance. Isn't that weird? don't you think there should be some kind of graduated thing so everyone is treated fairly? Because to have a certain amount and to be cut off doesn't seem fair than if someone who did no planning whatsoever and never did any planning is sucking off of the system. I'm serious. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. That's what's happening to Cindy's dad. He has $3,000 coming in, or a little more than $3,000. But he can't really get any supplement because he makes too much money. But somebody who has nothing will get everything paid. David, doesn't seem fair.
Well,
Cindy.
Tom,
Yes.
I take it back.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was looking at it during the break. I wanted to make sure I was correct.
Oh, so did I just say something wrong about that?
Well, yes, but that's my fault.
Go ahead.
Because I'm the one who said it. You can have an income limit of basically $1,800 per month for a couple. Then Medicaid can be available to pay the difference between that and what the nursing home is now.
But up to $1,800. What about the $3,000?
Well, what I'm saying is $1,800, and if he had some additional, I think Medicaid would pick up some of the extra expense for the nursing home. The question is, and I don't know the answer, I'm going to continue to look, how much more they would pay. So that's my fault, not your fault.
Oh, no, that's fine. But as far as any equity, though, you can't have any equity or money.
$2,000 in assets.
That's it.
That's it.
Like no money in the bank, no equity in a house, no car, no. Okay, so Marie, Cindy, I just disconnected Cindy by mistake. Marie, what is your feedback?
Hey, I went to a meeting because I'm a veteran, and what I came away with is that Cindy definitely needs to start with the VA, because the VA will provide assisted living or a nursing home for her
Veterans?
stepfather.
Really?
And his spouse.
Did you know for a veteran, really? Dan, you're a veteran.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Dan,
I think you have to be pretty destitute, don't you?
I don't think so. That wasn't the impression I got. So she really needs to start
Well,
with
look,
the
you know,
VA.
it can't hurt her, right? Going to VA, so I like that idea to start, and I appreciate that. Is Cindy back? So, I'm going to go to another call. Mike, your turn. Mike?
Yeah, I was calling last week. You had a lady named Renee on that her grandsons were trying to buy a house, but there was 4 involved, and
Yes.
she wanted to buy 2 out.
There were 4 involved. They were heirs.
We had to go to lunch, and I don't know how to podcast, and I just never heard how that was resolved.
Okay, here was the deal. The 2 of them wanted to buy the other 2 out of an inheritance, and the thing that they said that the bank was not allowing it. We didn't understand what that meant. What do you mean the bank wasn't allowing it? And so we said, get an attorney. You are represented. The estate is represented. Here's the problem. It was with a public administrator, as I remember. Is that what they call it, David, when the family doesn't get along, a public administrator?
Yeah, the court appoints.
Do you remember that case? There were 4 people. 2 of the sons wanted to keep the house and buy the other 2 out, but the public administrator wouldn't do the paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, she was
just
ignoring
dragging their feet.
But they can't.
Let me real quick. We were talking about it at the restaurant that we were at, and the lady she was a waitress and had gone through kind of the same thing. But we were telling them, you said something about rape and gouge and robbers and pirates about the public administrator.
Right.
So she told us about, she was right in the middle of it, but she had quite a significant estate. But she had a lawyer that was working with a lawyer in Florida, and they gave us this website, and it might be, you guys can look it up, it was a capital AAA, 3 A's and a PG.net, but it dealt with public administrators and lawyers dealing with estates that were caught red-handed, basically staging litigation.
AAAPA?
No, AAA, 3 A's, PG.net. It's by a doctor, Dr. Sam Sugar, an MD. He wrote a thing called The Playbook Revealed, and it's on that one. But she said, look that up so you have an idea of what's going on.
You know, Mike, I'm glad you're bringing this up, because the topic always comes up when David's on. of public administrators, and somebody said, so Tom, are you saying that no good public administrator exists? And I am saying yes. No, that's true. No good public administrator exists. By nature, they're vampires, and they suck the estates dry. That's my opinion.
This lady was saying that, and she said everybody thinks you have no recourse. It's like in an HOA where they use your own money to fight you.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
What happened? She found out between the New Mexico, there's a thing in Nevada, Las Vegas, and now the Florida thing that there is recourse. And she said that there was a state senator here working with the FBI on a public administrator in Jefferson County. And I don't know if you guys have heard that or not.
About?
Like you said, the rape and gouge and rob.
Yeah, it's not just Jefferson. Arapahoe County has had some famous cases. Here's what I'm saying, okay?
Arapahoe County had a RICO case, actually, on there that was filed in...
How do you know so much about this?
Well, this friend of mine's been going through it. His father was in the VA. They actually had a congressional investigation into it, and it led right to the judge and the public administrator sharing properties together and stuff.
Now, you're not the one that calls the show all the time because you don't sound like him, but there is a guy that calls the show all the time about he has this very personal case about his estate, and he calls in all the time, and he hasn't called in a long time. The reason I don't talk to him a lot is because he gets into some crazy conspiracy stuff about it. But I will tell you, Mike, I am suspect of this entire system when it comes to public administrators. And here's the bad part about it. David, this is what I feel unconscionable. You have a public administrator, let's say, and you have 4 or 5 heirs that don't get along, 6 heirs, 7, however many. This public administrator comes in, and right off the top, they get a fee for doing what they do, either hourly or plus expenses. They can hire their buddies to do accounting. They can hire another buddy to do this or that. Okay. Valuations, all of that. So now you get a family member who's upset with the public administrator. They fight him. He uses the estate's money to defend himself.
That's right.
So you're fighting him because you think he's unfair or he is charging too much. And he literally then gets more money to fight you. And while he's fighting you, he bills by the hour. So this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Listen, for everyone listening, you may think this is not true. It is true. But here's the good news. You can avoid it by simply getting along or having someone in your family or circle of friends selected as an administrator.
You know, Tom, this happens much more often when what you have is someone who doesn't have a will or has not named somebody as a personal representative. Because if you're named in someone's will as a personal representative, unless the other beneficiaries or heirs can bring real evidence that you are not the proper person to do it, whether you have a police record or money's disappearing or something like that. Otherwise, the fact that the heirs aren't happy doesn't mean the court's going to appoint a public administrator. But if there isn't a personal representative named, now you have all the family members, and a bunch of them probably want to be the personal representative. There's an argument, and the court says, fine, well, I'm not naming anybody a personal representative. I'm going to name this person as the public administrator who will be able to handle all of you at the same time.
Now let's talk, Marie has feedback on this nursing home situation where Cindy needs to put her dad, 93, or they're preparing to put her dad in a nursing home. What does he do with his income? He can't do anything. He makes $3 grand a month. But David, you're telling me there is some supplementation for people. They don't just cut them off.
Yeah, and
turn your mic on, Dave.
Sorry. And one of the things they do too is my understanding is every community has a different level of what the government will pay.
What?
Well, when you think about it, the deal is what costs $3,000 here in New York City might be $6,000 or $7,000. Now, that doesn't mean the government's going to pay that much, but they do take into account that there is a difference in communities.
Gotcha.
And Medicaid is money that's given to the states, each state, to handle and dole out. So it's not coming from Washington, it's coming from the state, obviously still subject to the basic rules of Medicaid.
303-713-TALK. Marie, what's your comment?
Like I say, she needs to start with the VA first.
That's what you were going to say. Now, hold on. We're going to ask him if she did. So, Cindy, did he contact the VA?
My mom did contact the VA, and they needed paperwork and everything. We've just got that paperwork. So we just weren't sure if we could go that route. You know.
Okay. So you did
from dementia.
You did not actually go through. You did not actually go through VA yet.
No. Have we gone through VA?
Josh also has a comment. Josh, what is your comment?
Yeah, I was going to say she should look at a program called Veterans Aid and Attendance Program.
And what is? Go ahead.
The supplemental pension program for veterans who need the aid and attendance of another person. And for a married veteran, it can be up to about $2,200 a month.
Right, and he's got to be a wartime veteran.
Yep, and she said he served in World War II.
Right.
So he'd qualify. Their assets seem to be there, and clearly he doesn't have the money. It's a pretty easy application process,
Thanks.
so I'd suggest you look into that.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. So, is there any one place, Dan, where all veterans' benefits are outlined? I mean, I'm sure about. I don't know. Are you sure? Because I'm not sure. Where all of the benefits are clearly outlined, every benefit available to a veteran. I don't know of any. Now, you may say the VA site, but try to get a list, literally, of every benefit where you can go and look up education, medical, retirement, or whatever, nursing homes. I mean, I wonder, is there a veterans resource where you can find out exactly what is available to veterans? I'm not sure there is. Cindy, listen, the good news, David said there is some supplementation with Medicaid, even if you have money. So while he does have to spend his money first, but you most likely can apply for some level of supplementation.
Now, do they take I'm worried about, I wonder if they consider my mom and her living expenses.
In other words, you're saying if he's married and he has to go into a nursing home, will they take every dime of his money and put it toward his living, or will they let him keep some for her? That's a good question. Do you know, David?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to find out.
We'll find out. Hold on, and we'll try to find that out. 303-713-8255. John Fuller, attorney at law, is your personal injury expert you can call when you need help. And I urge you to call at the first sign of an injury, not because you want to sue immediately, but because you want to preserve your rights. John Fuller at Fuller Law will evaluate the case and tell you where to go from there. You don't have to hire him right away. You just talk to him. There's never a charge. And if he does represent you, he only takes a percentage of what he collects. Give him a call if there is an injury, an automobile accident, a slip and fall, or something, a medical malpractice, or any other kind of injury where you believe someone else is responsible. 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
This report is brought to you by Napa Auto.
There's quite a few slow spots to watch out for.
Raleigh House and pure water, so we don't have to do those.
25 approaching 84th, looks like a car involved in the crash off to the shoulder, waiting for a tow truck there. Just some curiosity delays. Northbound I-25, heavy downtown. Lots of people heading downtown for the Rockies.
I'm sorry, you talking?
Really starts to slow down, starting at Broad.
Hear me now? Okay. You already took it off, so we just have orthodont. You said orthodontics?
I didn't do that one. We have that.
Yes.
And then we have Pro Auto, we have Lazara and Rockies.
Yes. Okay. And then we have orthodontics coming up in about 15 seconds.
Of 72. Right now, cloudy and 70. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Top-notch engine protection from Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil is back for just $5.79 a quart at any participating Napa Auto Parts store. That's now.
All right, we got 5 seconds. 3, 2,
or recycling fees.
If you are looking for a beautiful smile, you know, so many people, they don't want to go through 5 or 6 years of braces, not adults. And you know what? They look at these veneers. They're $50,000 and $60,000, yes, for a mouthful of veneers. Good luck. But Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, they have a solution. Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered a method that is fast, efficient, requires no surgery, no extractions. What we're talking about is NeoSmiles or Aurora Orthodontics. Now, it's the new orthodontics. Okay, now, the new orthodontics works like this. He has palate widening processes that do not require surgery. You wear some mouthpieces that gradually widen your palate over a period of time, and your teeth naturally straighten out. Then he puts the finishing touches on with Invisalign braces. The whole process takes only 2 years. But you have a beautiful natural smile, all your teeth, and it truly corrects your jaw alignment and your teeth, so you're healthier. You can correct TMJ. You can correct sleep apneas. This is the new orthodontics and the way they work. Call Dr. Kent Lawson, I urge you. It's a fraction of the cost of veneers. Now, they have an early orthodontics for children as well that does the same principle, even better. Give them a call, 303-690-0100, 303-690-0100.
Have you been to Mike Ward Infinity? I've known Mike's family for more than 30 years. Heck, his dad taught me in high school. But all you need to know about Mike Ward Infinity is integrity.
I have Pro Auto going into the next break, and then Joe Lazera, and then Rocky going into the last break.
So Pro Auto going to the next break. And then we'll do Joe Lazera at the end of that break.
After the traffic, yeah.
Also attend stem cell therapy educational seminars free with no obligation to you. Find solutions to your pain and information that could change the way you live. With seminars in Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, and other places, including Fort Collins, there's sure to be one near you. You need to attend one of these seminars on regenerative medicine. It could be a life-changing experience. 888-628-1899 to register for one of our upcoming seminars. And for information, visit stemcelltherapyforpain.com. I'm Tom Martino. I had stem cell therapy on my lower back, and it's nothing short of a miracle. Within 1 week, 90% of my pain was gone. And now, I don't even remember the pain. Start living once again. 888-628-1899.
Are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, now you can get sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, in generic 20 milligrams for $2.
You go on vacation, David, this summer?
That's a savings of $40 per dose.
I went to see my mother, and that's about it.
For information on sildenafil, go to marleygenerics.com.
She's living in Nashville now, which is where...
You're so fortunate to still have your mom.
I am so fortunate.
Because you're my age, right?
Yeah. It's a blessing. I can't believe, because all my friends, nobody has parents anymore. Almost none of them do. My mother's 90, and she's still kicking. She's a force of nature.
My mom died at 90.
Oh, really? Good genes.
Well, she's the youngest. Everyone else died at like 99 or 98. Wow. My grandfathers were 102. But listen, who knows, right? You pray that.
But it was genes.
And they were all healthy up to death. None of them went through senility, which is kind of a mixed blessing, actually. It's not always great because you do know what's happening to you. And you get older, you have the total cognizance, like. So, David.
Yeah.
Why? How old are you?
65.
So I'm 64. So why is my mom? If my mom lived to be 90. Oh, she was okay. Never mind. She was born earlier than your mom. That's all. So she had me later in life. I'm thinking we're the same age, mother. Okay. Yeah, my mom.
Gosh, Tom, that sounds like something that would have come out of my
mouth. I was one of the youngest.
Seriously.
Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. Hey,
you will never, ever find anyone who will represent you better if you're listing your home. Call him for an evaluation. 1 day listing. What he means is he'll get you up and running. If you don't like him, cancel. He'll cancel at any time because he knows he has to earn your business every day, not just to get you talked into a contract. He doesn't do that. You will love his team. If you're looking to buy, they can help too. He has a team for each. Please call him, 303-920-1622. I literally defy you not to say he's the best once you experience his level of service. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay. Daryl's got a comment on VA and nursing homes we've been talking about. Go ahead, Daryl.
Tom, I just finished 12 years with my father in a nursing home, private pay. He passed away Thanksgiving morning.
Private pay.
Private pay. And this is what they're going to be looking at.
How much?
Well, they can't really tell you because of the kabuki type bookkeeping they do. Probably about $7,000 to $8,000 a month.
Yeah. Okay.
But the interesting thing about that is that the Medicaid does not pay anywhere near that. So your loved one is laying in a bed with the same food, same service as a person next to them on Medicaid, and you're paying 2 to 3 times the amount that Medicaid pays for that same room, same food.
Now, you would think if you talk to a nursing home and say, listen, I don't have Medicaid, but I'm willing to pay you up front in advance, you know, cash, you know, whatever, and not, you know what I mean, you don't have to wait. Give me at least close to that rate. Why wouldn't they do it?
Because they deny it. The way we found out.
Well, no, it's no secret. I knew that. Medicaid doesn't reimburse at the same rate a private pay does. No.
Yes, that's right. And the way, you know, like when Obama lowered the amount that Medicaid paid, our bill went up.
Ah, because you're supplementing it.
Well, no, we were paying all of it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you're supplementing poorer people.
Well, see, the thing is, that violates quite a few things in the Constitution and under law. I've talked to one attorney who is he's been before the United States Supreme Court 3 times and won.
Darryl, but we're not going to win the argument that we can't supplement the poorer people.
You don't have to supplement it off the other people, but that's another thing. I'll be talking to you sometime in the future.
Okay.
To help me get an attorney. The way that they do that is they will take everything that family has. They will leave the mother will have a little bit left, very, very, very little left, and they will, and because they have it, they will be expected to pay.
I know.
Yeah, they will. That family is going to be wiped out.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that, well, there is some supplementation if you have enough, right? They take you, and if you don't have enough, they will supplement.
Not until all his assets are gone.
Well, his assets are gone. He just has income.
They'll take that. And
right.
Then they'll supplement.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Darryl.
They will wipe that family out.
They will wipe. That's exactly right. They wipe out everything, and then you get help. Whereas people who have nothing get help right away. Is that fair? Of course. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I wish we all produced the same. Then we wouldn't have to worry about it, but we don't. There will always be poor among us. The Bible says that, right? Now, there are some people that are poor, and it's no fault of their own. There are some people that are lazy. I wish we can make a distinction. But you know what? Here's the sad thing. Even if someone is lazy, a lazy bum, lazy, doesn't want to work, collects unemployment, or tricks the system, whatever they can. If they are suffering and go to an emergency room, which one of us would turn them away? Truly. Which one of us? Would you say, well, you know what, sir? You're a lazy bum. You know, you sucked off the system your whole life. I'm sorry, there's no help for you here. Of course we wouldn't. So what is the answer? I mean, I'm the only one really who truly talks about facts in real life. I mean, that's real life. We reward everyone. We do. Because there's not one of us. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. There's not one person that I know that would turn someone away at a hospital because they were lazy, sucking off the system. Yeah, we don't like it, but what are we going to do about it? It happens all the time. It happens with unemployment. It happens with welfare or social services. It happens all the time. How many times do we hear that old thing about, you don't have insurance, you're driving a motorcycle, you don't have a helmet, you're in a coma, or you're you're a vegetable and your bills are $800,000, $900,000, $1.8 million. You're in Craig Hospital, and you're living off of everyone else. Then a guy comes in with, he's underinsured, just enough money to get by, and they say, I'm sorry, we can't treat you. We've seen it, right? We turn away people who are hardworking, who barely have enough to survive, because they can only pay a little. But we never turn away people who can pay nothing. Think about that. And who among us can? They literally will tell someone, you have another week left here and then you have to go home. Your insurance ran out. Or, you know, your family can't come up with the money. You know, I know you can pay part of it, but that's not enough. Yet, someone in the next bed can pay nothing because their family squandered every penny. Or they may even be here illegally, and they will get everything paid. Why is it? That's a fact, by the way. I'm not speaking for or against people. I'm not hateful. I'm not speaking against immigration. I'm not speaking for it. This is just a fact. We live in a society that is so filled with dichotomies, so filled with conflict. There is no justification ever. Just like this thing with sanctuary cities right now. We have people that want to make it safe for immigrants, whether legal or illegal. I'm all for that. So they don't want punishment for illegal immigration, period. So I've asked the question, should we simply abandon our immigration laws? Why not? I mean, what are sanctuary cities saying? They're saying you can come here and be safe. You can have all the services you need, and you don't have to worry about deportation. Then why not just do away with the laws altogether? You see, now those people will say, no, we don't want to do that. Then what do you want? That's the problem with our society. We, honest to God, do not know what we want. We can't define ourselves. We can't. We can't. And we all pretend we understand, but we don't. There is conflict, there's dichotomy, there's illogical things going on every single day, and we turn our heads. Okay, I'll give you another example. You have progressive, liberal people who would die if you mention the name Jesus Christ in public. But if a man walks up in the middle of a meeting and wants to thank Allah and say a prayer, because of diversity, they don't want to insult that man. So he gets to do it. I'm not saying one is better. I'm not saying one should and one shouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is a fact. This happens right now. It happens. And then we say we want diversity. So there is nothing more than people... We embrace everyone, yet some of the people we're embracing would stone you to death for being homosexual. But we embrace them and say, we have to understand diversity. But if someone else steps outside of that circle, they're on the outside. We have no consistency whatsoever. You have conservatives who, if you go too far to the right, become crazy. And you have liberals, they go too far to the left, they become crazy. And you know what? The people like us in the middle who just want to get along, we don't know what the hell to do. I'm telling you, because we live in a society that has no answers. We just trend up and down, whatever's popular. And right now it's popular to love illegal immigration and to make a way for them. That's what it is. And when it comes to nursing homes, when it comes to medical care, if you have nothing, you get. If you have a little, you get nothing. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's solve more of your problems coming up. I want to tell you about Pro Auto Care. I just got an email. My car is due to for an oil change. It also needs a particular service here, a particular service there. And I wonder, how does Al Ramos know that? He has every single customer in his database and gives gentle reminders of what they need and when they need it. And what I love about him is they are your car nanny. They keep track of all of it. It used to be you had a little notebook, you kept track of it. Sometimes dads kept track of it for their kids. Alaramis is your car nanny. And what I love is that you feel like you're part of a family. You have ethical, honest service. You have great repairs. You have experienced techs. You have good maintenance and roadside assistance for all his customers. All of them, in between every single service. 303-PRO-AUTO. That's the number, the only one you have to remember. And the website, too, 303proauto.com.
Some big-time delays as the lunch hour continues, especially on northbound
I-25 traveling downtown. Lots of people heading to Coors Field for the Rockies game. Northbound pretty much stop and go, starting at about Broadway. Doesn't let up until you get well north of Spear. So watch out for delays downtown. No delays on southbound I-25. Westbound I-70.
So that was my mom.
Do you think
you would be able to help her?
What does she want to have done?
Just like if they need anything, like they can call you or whatever.
But they don't.
And if I can't do it, I will get them to somebody who can.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, is that it's very difficult because he doesn't apply for stuff like that. And really, it's not even hard what they need to do. It's a process. It's not that it's hard, it's just a process.
But there are VA benefits for that.
Yeah. It's too bad that he had... Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Still there.
Let's talk about criminal defense.
It's something I hope no one ever has to face. If you have a DUI, you either did two things. Well, you either made a mistake or you were falsely accused or something in between. You know, sometimes people don't know that they're drunk. Sometimes people don't know when they smoke marijuana they had too much. Here's the problem. You will still get the ticket. You will still get the charge. And whether guilty or innocent, you need an attorney to help you through the system. Because there's two things going on, a criminal and a civil matter. Civil with motor vehicle, criminal with the courts, and you have to meet deadlines and you have to know what to do and when to do it. You may also need Joe Lazzara for any other crime. You know, we've had people who go out for a night and end up with a harassment charge, disturbing the peace. You never know what will happen. Joseph A. Lazzara. Remember the name. I hope you never need him. But he is there, LazzaraLegal.com. Lazzara with two Z's. LazzaraLegal.com, or on my referral list at referralist.com. Here's his number. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
Broncos country. The Denver Broncos invite you to join them as they kick off the 2017 season with training camp at UC Health Training Center. Camp begins July 27th and includes 12 days of free and open to public access. Additional features include food trucks, giveaways, and autograph opportunities. Don't miss out on the chance to see your Broncos in action this summer.
And in that way,
and to see the complete schedule of training camp dates, visit
chart.
denverbroncos.com/training.
If not, you're not.
Replace your damaged roof with the most
hail-resistant roofing product about that Social Security disability if they get turned down. Well, Social Security disability of all of them is probably the one that has the most weirdness. That does have a lot of subjectivity. I mean, you'll have a guy literally who sits at home and thinks he's a child and he'll get disability, where another guy won't.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the questions.
Your parents?
If you need a reverse loan, think. It eats up equity.
It could be devastating. Never to you. It'll never have a negative effect on the house, but on your estate. In other words, if you think you're going to leave your home to someone and you have a reverse mortgage for a long time, it could eat up equity. But here's what I'm saying. It's made for the living. It'll never come back to haunt you if you do it right. But it's not for everyone. If you get a reverse loan, you can live off your equity and not pay the loan back. You'll never owe more than the house is worth ever. 303-771-3528. That number is approvalreverse.com. The ones I trust to tell you the truth about reverse loans, whether you're a good candidate or not. Some people love them, some people don't. It's up to you. But Joan Sullivan is the one to do them if you want them. Joan Sullivan, approvalreverse.com, 303-771-3528. Let's keep going and talk. We have so much going on here. We just got to get to the phones. And I want to go to people who have been waiting a long time like Bob. Go ahead, Bob. What's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I purchased a brand new house. I mean, this is a house that was built
Never lived in. It was not custom built for me, but it was built as a spec home.
Okay.
Turns out the house had multiple violations that the state missed in electrical violations and that the county missed in building violations.
Yeah, that happens often, by the way.
Yeah, we're talking pretty egregious.
Like, give me the most egregious one.
Well, the roof leaks. It does not have...
Well, no, the code violation. I mean, the leaking, of course, is bad, but what is the code?
It doesn't meet the code for snow and ice shield. That's why it's leaking, and for flashing. That's probably not the most egregious. The most egregious is all the electrical was a fire trap. None of the can lights, there were 63 can lights in the house, were rated for being installed in insulation, and all were installed in insulation. I discovered this because they started thermal cycling.
So wait a minute, they started the thermal break turned them off?
Yes, right. So
okay, so yeah, because they overheated. So the can lights were made to go where then? Those can lights.
Those can lights were rated for non-installed installation. They were installed in insulation, but they should not have been. They weren't the right type.
Do you understand the difference, though? That you can install, just so you know, because I think you might be misunderstanding. You can install can lights.
Yes.
That are not made for installation for insulation in an area that has insulation if you have the aluminum barriers.
No, and they did not have the aluminum barriers.
That's what I wanted to know, because aluminum barriers are acceptable to keep insulation away from the lights.
No, they did not have aluminum barriers. The wall fixtures, the lights, like in the bathroom where they're installed on the walls, were just screwed into the drywall with no box installed whatsoever.
You know what's unfortunate? This is terrible. What's unfortunate is you don't have a bad guy to go after, do you? I mean, did you buy it when it was new?
Yes, it was never lived in.
Oh.
The CO had been issued.
How long have you been there?
About 1.5 years. Now, I did engage a lawyer. I actually think we have a good case.
No, you probably do have a good construction defect case if it's only been 1.5 years, but you got to move pretty quickly, and it's very difficult. However, if you have clear-cut violations like that, you shouldn't engage in a lot of litigation. You should enter into some kind of negotiation to get it fixed.
So what I've tried to do is I have notified, I've spent about $8,000 with a lawyer. We have notified the builder of the violations. His response is, you signed a contract that says it's as is, and it's not my problem. So but Bob, your attorney should have told you this. As is means when you're dealing with, for example, a car. As is means it is a car. Right. And it meets certain safety. It still has to meet certain safety things unless it's a towaway. When you do a home as is, it is as is. However, but you can assume that it does meet building code. Beyond that, you're right. He's right. Anything could be wrong with it. Like your drywall could be warping to hell. But if the nail pattern meets code, then it meets code. In your case, I don't think that as is gets them out of it. No, it doesn't. The problem is that I don't have the money to sue them. That's the issue I have. What little money I have to sit around, and I've pretty much gone through my savings, has been to deal with the issues to make the house.
Well, $8,000 was way too much for an attorney if all he did was notified the builder. Is that all he did?
Yeah, and maybe it hasn't been quite that much. We've gone back and forth a couple times.
Well, okay, I want to ask you a few things. Sure. If you had to correct, and I don't mean exaggerate, but correct. For example, the aluminum, you wouldn't replace the fixtures. You would just do the shields around them.
I have corrected those.
Okay. I need to know, if you add up everything in a reasonable way, and I'm not talking about, some people get crazy, but I'm talking about correcting those defects, how much are we going to, for all of them, how much?
Probably about $45,000.
Okay. Now,
and I have not corrected the roof yet. I'm just.
What is wrong with the roof? A whole roof job couldn't cost that much.
It's $15,000 for the roof.
Okay.
I talked about the plumbing. There were plumbing issues as well.
Well, tell me the plumbing. Tell me the most egregious plumbing. Listen, I'm not going to even dispute whether the builder knew it. He doesn't have to know. It's a matter of it meets code or not. You have a slam dunk case. Your problem is, you're right. Your remedy is going to cost you as much as it costs you to sue them. How much is the actual, or what's the most egregious plumbing issue?
I had to replace the lines from the well house. Well, I had to replace the pump house. All the pressure tanks in the pump house, and
no, I'm not asking that. I'm asking the violation.
So they were leaking. They violated all the pressure codes. Either they falsified the pressure tests, or the county did not do the pressure test because there were leaks throughout the whole system.
Well, now that's going to be the hardest one to prove. I mean,
that is the hardest one.
I'm talking about clear-cut violations, Bob.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best evidence I have is, is the fact that the builder or the seller, we turned water on to do the house inspection and to have the water test done, and he would go up and turn the water off and instantly turn the water off.
Bob, that's not a violation. Bob, I don't want... But, Bob, no one listens to that. I'm asking you not to waste your time and tell me about your theories on how he tried to trick you. No one... I'm telling you, don't do it. Just go to the clear-cut violations and be done with it. Who is the seller?
The seller is a man... named Malone. He is a developer in the area.
Is he the builder? Is he the builder?
He had a contractor that built the building permits were in his name.
In Malone's name?
In Malone's name.
Now, did Malone have this house built for himself and then sold it?
No, he had it built as a spec home.
Okay, but
so he never lived in it. He was never going to live in it.
Okay, and what is the name of what's his full name?
It's Malone Properties LLC. His name is Sid Malone.
And did you buy it from Malone Properties LLC?
I did.
Okay, that's another problem, is that you're dealing with an LLC. If he has no assets...
He has assets. He has million-dollar properties all around me.
Bob?
Listed by that LLC right now.
Okay, so if Malone Properties LLC owns those properties, that's one
right.
thing.
If you go to the tax rolls, you'll see they are owned by him.
Okay.
In fact, the property next to me is currently on the market by him through the same realtor that represented
How much
my
did
property.
you pay? How much did you pay for your house?
$360,000.
Okay, I have a really serious question to ask you, and you better have a good excuse. Did you have the house home inspected?
I did.
By who?
By a private home inspector.
Well, why didn't he find any of this?
He did find the only defect he reported was a few missing shingles on the roof, which we had repaired.
Why didn't he notice
he said he missed them. I contacted him. He says, "Well, I just didn't miss them."
Well, he has errors in emissions insurance.
Yeah, but his and I could try to go after him.
Not try. Why would you not go after him?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to decide what the best approach is. Well, let me give you a little more history. This house has a history of the county to the point where they actually sent a sheriff's deputy out with a cease and desist order during construction because he did not have proper permits. So if any house should have been inspected carefully, I think it would be this. Well,
you don't have anything against the county. You can't sue the county for this. They're never going to. They are cloaked with so much immunity that that's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is the builder, the contractor, the guy who actually did the work, I'm sure he has no assets. And he's not legally tied to the property in any way. The name and the title were all in Malone's.
What's Malone's first name, did you say?
Sid.
Now, have you talked to Sid?
Yes.
What is he?
The first night we moved in there, for instance, to give you an example of the behavior, the first time we got in there, I brought my horses in. I tried to fill up the water tank. The faucet where the horse water was did not work, although it had worked during the test. I called him up and said, that faucet out by the horses doesn't work. He says, oh, there's a leak out there somewhere, so I told him to turn it off. I'll have Mark come by and show you where the leak is so you can fix it.
Okay.
That was the day after closing.
Well, it sounds like you just got stuck with a lemon and you got to decide what to do. And it probably, unfortunately, or it's fortunate for Sid, it's probably better for you to just take this and fix it. Just fix what you can.
Yeah, I'm so financially strapped that I'm on the borderline of not making the payments. I mean, I am struggling day to day. I mean, it is that point.
But not making the payments, that has nothing to do with.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, I am pushing everything I've got, and I'm not sure how much longer I can keep it. And I can't sell the house because there's no defects that I'd have to reveal.
Of course.
So if I tried to sell the house, I'd be way upside down.
Well, you can, like I said, I mean, making the payments on that house, whether it had defects or not, that has nothing to do with the defects. I mean,
I'm making the payments. I'm fully current.
Now,
I'm just saying, I'm every month I'm just falling a little bit farther.
Is there a way? Is there a way? I mean, these are problems, but it doesn't sound like problems that can't be fixed over a period of time. They don't have to be fixed tomorrow.
Nope.
you take one at a time and just start doing them. I mean, listen, I don't like what you're telling me. I think this sucks. And again, this, without going off on a soapbox again, this is what we face every single day. You got scumbags like Sid Malone, or I assume he is from what you're telling me, if what you're telling me is true. I mean, he probably will have another story. And maybe we should call Sid and say, look, why don't you help the guy out? Maybe we should. In fact, let's do that. Dan, I'm going to let you do it. You heard the story, Dan. Let's call him. Oh, man, I'm way over time. Angie, I'm sorry. You're too nice. You didn't jump on me like Brutus would. I gotta do a spot here. Okay, Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. That's the place to go for used cars, trucks, SUVs, and pick-me-ups. Rocky's has not only a big, giant variety of models, makes, price ranges, but you mean colors and features. That's what they pride themselves on, variety. Also, they pride themselves on variety when it comes to financing, too. 40 lenders to choose from. Might be even a little more than 40 lenders. And they clearly mark prices on every single car so you can compare. And they want you to shop around, but put Rockies on the list. They originate all loans right there. They get you 100% qualified and closed before you leave. Everything is done there so you can have peace of mind when you drive away. Not like other dealers that call you back in a few days and say, oh, you know what? We made a mistake. You need to bring in more money. That's a trick a lot of dealers play. 303-426-4646, Rockies Autos for a straightforward deal. Great prices, great product, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. Big delays in the heart of downtown, northbound I-25, bit stop.
And go there starting at about Broadway and doesn't let up until you get north of Spear. Lots of people heading downtown to Coors Field for the Rockies game this afternoon, so watch out for that. Also, look out for slow speeds on the westbound side of I-70. Stop and go approaching Vasquez, backed up to about Havana at this point. Westbound 270 slow on the approach to Vasquez as well. And westbound I-76 slow on the approach to Pecos due to construction.
No, it's not, but I'll give you the number.
50% chance of afternoon showers. Some could be kind of
303.
And a cool high of 72.
627.
Cloudy and 70. With your traffic and weather
8-4.
630
Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in store or online.
I'll try to sit on the radio.
U.S. only.
Take AIM, affordable interest mortgage. Pay off your home in half the time.
I agree. It's a little bit at a time. That's the versus he just spent $8,000. He probably could fix everything for $8,000.
Yeah, or what?
Flashing is all.
He said $45,000. That sounds outrageous.
Oh, yeah. But like say replacing the can lights, you could put LED can lights in there for $8 a piece.
You don't replace the can.
It's very easy to do it.
But you don't have to.
But what I'm saying, if you put LEDs, they're so much better than they're all cool.
Right, the bulb. I would have done that.
No, not just the bulb, the whole can. You can just pull it out, put the other one in. I replaced them all on mine.
But in order to correct his situation, you have to have, you know, those aluminum things?
I don't think you do with LEDs.
They're top hats. Have you ever seen aluminum?
Yep. I get that's a pain in the butt. But if you do LEDs, I don't think
you don't have to.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But why the fixture? Why not just put an LED bulb in it?
I don't know if you can do that. And a lot of those can lights, the bulb is put in the can. You can't like switch it out.
What do you mean?
The cans that I've seen, you got to pull the whole can out and replace the can.
You mean the LEDs? They make LED bulbs that go in can lights.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I have them. I mean, they're instead of buying a tungsten bulb, you buy an LED bulb.
Okay. When I replaced the can was like $7. The LED can, the can and everything.
You have to wire it?
No, you just got to plug it into the can. Take it out, take the other can out, take it out, plug it in, put it up there.
So you still know what you're talking. But why would you do that if you can just screw in a bulb? An LED
well,
bulb?
The cans I've seen and stuff, you can't screw in. You got to pull the whole can out.
Why?
That's the ones I've seen.
I'm not talking about cans. I'm talking about bulbs.
Oh yeah, the bulbs. I'm talking about the can light bulbs.
Yeah,
like that.
But the cans have bulbs like that. That's what they have in it.
Okay, mine's the ones I've seen are built in. The whole thing was a one-piece unit.
No, you don't need to do that. You can buy an LED bulb that screws in.
Okay.
To a can.
Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. David Salisbury, our guest today. And when David's not here, he's at 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911. For anything to do with trusts or probate or wills, and on trust. A trust is what?
Trust is a document that you get drafted while you're living, you sign it, and then you legally transfer your assets into it. So
it's an entity.
It is an entity like a corporation.
And it doesn't die.
It doesn't die. You can keep it going for a long, long time.
When you die, it doesn't
stays.
go into court.
It doesn't go into court. There's no probate. It's seamless.
And so whoever is the trustee of that estate or a beneficiary gets it, of that trust.
Whatever the document says.
Okay, and that trust then is owned by the new person.
Well, there's a new trustee who handles whatever is owned by the trust. Because it's separate from the individual.
And they can liquidate as per the instruction.
Whatever the document says, that's the way it will go.
Some trusts allow them to live off interest.
Yes.
Some trusts allow them to pull out principal.
That's true.
Some trusts do a little bit of both.
And some trusts just end at the death
and cash out.
The trustee beneficiary.
And they cash out.
And they cash out.
Some trusts might require that it only be used for school.
That's right.
Some trusts.
Health.
Okay. Good. Let's keep going. Okay, 303-713-8255. Jason has a follow-up on the AT&T phone issue. Okay, what's going on, Jason?
Hey, Tom. It's not a follow-up. I had a tire issue last week.
Yeah?
You guys helped me with that, and I got that fixed. That was through Discount Tire, so I appreciate that. The reason I'm calling now is I'm having a problem with my AT&T phone. What happened is I had a Samsung Galaxy, and it was overheating.
Yeah.
So I sent it back on a warranty issue.
Yes.
Well, when they got it, it was broken. It had a crack in it. So they sent it back to me.
Yeah.
And they charged me the full price of the phone.
Well, but it's broke.
Yeah, it was broke.
Are they going to replace it again?
They sent me a new one. That's why they charged me for the broken one, which was fine. I ended up paying that off, right? It was
but you still only paid for one phone.
Correct.
What's the issue then?
Now my issue is my niece lost her phone, and she had to do an insurance claim, so that was $250.
Yeah.
And we still owe... I paid all my phone bill up except for that $250, and they shut off our phone, and they won't give us any extension. I don't know if you have an angel there that can help.
Do we have someone at AT&T? But even if we do, though, they're going to say you owe the money. Here's what we can do. Hold on. We can at least submit it to them, but when are you going to be able to pay it?
In 2 weeks.
Okay. We'll give them a quick call, okay? I want to take D, who has a question for David. Go ahead, D.
Hi, I have a probate question. My husband passed away 2 years ago, and we never went to probate. We never opened anything because everything we had was joint, except we found out one property that we owned with our son. For some reason, it just has all three names on the deed.
Okay.
Now, he has passed away, but we owned it 50-50. How do I get it?
Who owned it 50-50, dear? Who owned it 50-50?
My husband and I own 50%, and our son owns 50%.
But you're saying, D, this is David Salisbury, but what you're saying is there are three names on it. It's not in joint names, just three names. The only way you're going to be able to transfer his interest in that real property, unfortunately, is to open a probate.
Okay, and how do I do that?
Well, you can give me a call off the late radio, and I'll talk to you about it. 720-493-3911.
Yeah, Daphne, make sure she gets that number. That's going to be easy to get. I am purposely not taking Uriel in line one because this is major, and I can't take it with less than a minute left. Matt's got to, but I want to talk to them about this and get this set up for for tomorrow. Matt, you have a comment on the death wobble. That is a shaking of the front end of a car from Friday's show. Tomorrow's car day, we can discuss it, but if you can make a quick comment, go ahead.
Yeah, I had the same issue, Tom, and it was the track bar and the track bar joint had completely wiped out the problem. And we did put new shocks, but it was mostly the track bar.
Okay, but you had to do the aftermarket one. I understand. Thank you for telling us that. We did talk about that, but tune in tomorrow on the car show if you want to talk more.
Thank you. Good one.
Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness.
Thank you very much.
No, great kid. Going on now. Save up.
You sound like you know what the hell you're doing. I don't know. But
as long as people believe it,
it's all good. I got him change his political views.
No, he didn't change your political views.
No, you didn't. You just got me to say